Welcome back, everybody, for an October Country Comics podcast. Live from New Paltz. It's Tuesday night.
When we record this, I mean, it goes up on either Wednesday or Thursday, man.
Sometimes Friday.
That was that one time it went up Friday.
There was that time.
Hey.
What?
You bickering biddies over there. Let's get back to the
Bickering biddies. That's a new one. I'm gonna have to keep track of that
Are we
one.
chatty Cathys now too?
No, you're
Debbie Downers. What other female name?
Well, you're a golden girl, so what difference does it make? You're one of them.
I love the Golden
You're
Girls.
the-
I was told about you watching Golden Girls while you were
Did
like.
you tell him?
She did, and it made me so happy.
You can be.
I grew up with that with
I
my
did
mom.
too.
That was a bonding experience
Will,
I had with my mother.
I just want to take this moment and say thank you for being a friend.
Travel down the road and back again.
Okay. Anyway, all right. So, it's back again. Devon here.
Oh, and Will, recovering from my dental surgery on Saturday. I'm in pretty good shape.
Sophia Petrillo. No.
Oh, we're doing that,
State
Dorothy.
your name for the record, sir.
Ma!
Anastasia Beaverhausen. I could keep this going, but this is Steven.
We welcome a guest tonight, our good friend and customer of the store, longtime patron, Brandon Argento.
What up, dogs?
He's
Really?
also right now in a
Comfy chair.
Yeah, he's in a very
I am
comfy
in the
chair.
comfy chair.
And
That was
he's,
my one stipulation for being here.
Hey, listen, I'm trying to help you out, man.
Yeah.
So quiet. Let me do a plug here for you.
Oh,
he's
shameless
in a
plugs.
he's in a play that's right now going to be at the Rhinebeck Performing Arts Center called 42nd Street.
Whoa.
Last weekend coming up, son. We're
they'll-
almost sold out. Get your tickets.
So Brandon's going to be over at Rhinebeck Performing Arts Center and 42nd Street. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Sunday shows at 3 p.m. Me and Steve are going to be there, so should you.
Yeah.
Get your tickets now.
While you
Going
can.
fast.
Going
Theater's
fast.
fun.
It is.
I've done it.
All right, guys. So we're gonna get into it, and we got a lot of stuff to talk about. A lot of big things going on.
Oh,
in the comic world, the comic industry.
You sell comics here?
It's a comic shop.
I thought this was the pain management center that closed down next door.
What's a comic? You promised me a sandwich when I
so,
came.
all right. So first up, we got our big new releases this week. The first one being the Extermination event.
There was no like.
Is that your
button
Batman
for
voice?
That, so
What
it was
was
like
your-
a- no,
That
was-
actually
that
is
was like my
very
announcement
similar.
Voice.
That is
was-
very similar to his Batman voice. I've heard his
It
Batman
is.
voice before.
I usually go with
Christian
Pete,
Bale.
Pete Holmes' version of Batman.
Who's
Batman?
Pete Holmes'
version.
version of Batman?
No.
No, I've seen it.
I don't know what version. Oh.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Funny or
The
Die
He's
guy.
not
dead. He's just
Which one of these tubes do you smell out of? That one.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so
That
yeah.
took me a minute.
So
I don't
Extermin-
know what
that
you're
one.
talking about.
All
I went in a marathon today and I watched all of his X-Men videos.
Oh, the X-Men.
I
so
love
funny.
the X-Men videos.
Oh, the ones where they get fired.
Look at
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah.
I love the Wolverine. He's like, "Your power is literally this."
It's flailing.
It's
Your
flailing.
power is flailing.
Your power is flailing.
Speaking of X-Men,
Anyway,
We'll get
so
to that.
yeah,
Beautiful,
actually,
beautiful
full
segue.
circle. We got get back to X-Men. Thank you, Will. So Extermination
I
number
actually
one,
said that, but that's
X-Men.
cool.
but he's the one who cued it.
Oh.
So yes, again, Extermination number one comes out this
Never get
week,
thanked on this show.
and it's
It's looking very interesting. We've talked about it before once on the show.
a few
and
times actually.
Did we?
Yeah, we
Well, I
talked
know
about
we had that one podcast where we went because of the Cyclops picture.
yeah. Well, it's been coming up a lot in the news just because it's going to be like a whole to do about the original 5 X-Men being time displaced.
Coming back.
So we're finally addressing that. We're finally getting
Some resolution, hopefully.
Yeah.
Maybe? Yeah.
Took them how long?
By resolution, I mean just
years.
ship them back home.
Well, it was like
I tried that
Come on
once
home.
though, and then it was a paradox.
Yeah, but
and
it didn't
was,
work out for them. Like it literally,
It
it
didn't.
wasn't. Why are they still here? You have we have the originals.
Well,
Put 'em
now,
away.
as far in the story, what's happening is that time is literally dying. And it's not just like the X-Men are getting unraveled; the entirety of time is being unraveled. So them
Nice.
being where they are is destroying time, and they have to be dealt with. And there's gonna
They
be
need
some
to be exterminated.
maybe.
Coming this fall.
But Bob?
Extermination.
Get ready. Oh, yeah, brother. The X-Men
We got
are
Randy
going down.
Savage.
They're going down, brother.
What
How's
the
that mouth
ever
surgery
loving
treating you, Will?
Was that?
It was
That was
Randy
Randy,
Savage.
Savage.
I think it was
He's
pretty.
Macho
Man.
Macho Man,
Macho
Randy,
Man Randy
snap into a
Savage.
Slim Jim.
I know what it was. It was just terrifyingly amazing.
It hurts my throat,
But yet he's
I
still
enjoy
doing
it.
it. This is the dedication you
That's
get
it.
from
That's
Will.
where we're going with that.
All right. Well, anyway,
I'm
so-
looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, no, it looks really interesting. It's basically meant to clean up the X-Men timeline and
Again.
get everything back to
That'd be nice.
some normalcy.
There was a beautiful monologue in X-Men Blue that came out last week, the week before, whatever it
Okay.
was, where Magneto is having like an inner thought bubble as he's narrating about being in the future and everything, and he's just like, the X-Men have had a very difficult dance with time. And I'm like, yeah,
Yes.
that's a really lovely way. Like, I almost want to go get it so I can read it verbatim.
Not to mention the fact that he's just actively trying to kill them at this point.
Only Emma.
He's given up on even trying to save them. He's like, no.
No, at this point he's so like butthurt about what Emma did to him. He's like, yeah, no, I'm gonna go after you, crazy bee.
Yeah, he gets all mad at everybody for something or another.
He's Magneto.
He's
I
just a
love
grumpy
Magneto.
old man.
True, I love Magneto.
Good old Magneto. Professor X does not, love him. He fired him
not
actually
true.
as their arch nemesis.
He did.
That was a pretty funny episode.
I mean, the one thing we can say about Magneto is that he can replace people's feelings with road signs.
He can do that.
That is
That's
a thing.
possible.
That is a thing that happens.
Apparently, so I've heard.
So I've heard.
So
I've been
I've
told,
seen.
actually. So the next
You're
bigger-
awful.
moving on, the next big release we have coming up is actually Astonishing X-Men Annual this
Woo.
week, which is
It's a big X-Men week.
Yeah, surprisingly.
Yeah,
we've
a lot
talked-
of-
I think we did it.
lots of
We Beetlejuiced it, where we just said X-Men
Way
like
too much.
so much.
Yeah.
Who would have thought
Oh,
you would have
man,
said
like-
X-Men in a comic book podcast?
like really like Will. You have to go back and find all of the X-Men footage that we've had to cut out, like for like.
Oh my God! Last
last,
week
like,
we were
3
lucky to come
podcasts.
out with the 2-hour podcast.
We were
like
only
there was
like
so
40
much.
minutes
Oh.
over, or 20.
It was,
Yeah, but
it was so.
You're
No,
never
Will, you
going
really have
home,
to get like
Brandon.
all the outtakes together and just put together an X-Men outtakes.
That's so many
That's so
hours of my
X-Men.
life that have to go into that because I have to take not only the episodes but the raw
Don't
like
you mean
2-hour
issues?
episodes we record. Nice throwback. We haven't done that in a couple
No,
episodes.
issues.
Oh, issues.
Issues.
He commented on the Facebook about the issues thing.
I did comment
You did?
on it because it was amazing.
But yeah, so Astonishing X-Men Annual this week. It's Xavier is
X, actually.
Oh, his name is X.
His
That's
name
right.
is X now
It's X.
Yes,
because
He-
it's edgy.
And he's
Just
in.
X.
He's,
And he has
he's
hair.
He's in a
in-
reconstructed body from Phantom X, correct?
Yes.
It's not. It's just Phantom X's body, isn't
Yeah.
it?
No,
Yeah, it's not.
no. He explains in the thing that he didn't just take Phantom X's body; that he
Oh, that's
recreated
molecule
his
there.
body.
So he did
With
something-
hair.
so-
With hair.
so
We
he
have to talk about
So
that.
hold on. Let's clarify for everyone listening. Basically, what's been going on in Astonishing X-Men? Spoilers, by the way, everybody.
Oh, we're doing that now?
Yeah,
Oh, no.
spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers. Phantom X is
Professor
gone.
X, his
He's like in like a euphoria mindset.
He's in
though.
the astral plane, like
He-
running his life. He's,
Yeah,
he's doing great. Don't
so
worry about it.
So Professor X has been a disembodied mind for a while, and what happened was the Shadow King showed up and was messing with a bunch of the X-Men. So Xavier decided it was a good idea to take over Phantom X's body, rewrite his biology, and steal his body for himself. Sounds a little supervillainy to me, but
That does kind of sound like, a not super cool thing to do.
No.
You know what, though? Xavier's
I mean,
done some pretty shady
Phantom X
nonsenses in
agreed
the
to
past.
it, though. In
Did
the
he,
astral,
though?
He did,
No,
sort
no, no.
of.
Did he, though? How do you know?
He was a little
no, no.
forced into
How
it,
do you
but-
know, though, that he
a
agreed?
little forced.
It was only a little
It was
forced.
only
just
a
a
little
little
forced.
forced.
No. He can sit there and alter your mind.
So yeah, so Xavier's back. He's in Phantom X's body. He mind wiped everyone
Except Psylocke.
except for Psylocke, to say, hey, I don't want anyone to know I'm back. The annual coming out this week is him revealing himself to what's left of the original X-Men and them going on an adventure.
And doing some things. It's also written
Yeah.
by
That is
current
very-
writer Matthew Rosenberg. I always put it
Rosenberg.
Rosenberg.
Anyway, so that's Astonishing X-Men Annual that's coming out this week. Should be an interesting story.
The other story, though, with Xavier coming back was written by Charles Soule.
Yes.
So
Charles Soule, who is actually he is actually the architect of the return of another X-Men character, Mr. Wolverine.
After he killed him.
Well, yeah, but at least it's consistent. At least the guy who killed him is bringing him
true.
back.
That's
This
true.
is true.
Next up on the new release list is Weapon X number 22.
I'm ready to talk about Teen Titans now.
I changed my mind.
This is why you all get mad at me. You make it sound like this is my fault. This is why we stay here for 3.5 hours. Okay?
Because of me?
Partially. I'd probably say a good 45%.
I just want you to know, I think that he's saying like we're like a dynamic duo, Will.
Nice.
No. No, me and Will make the other 55%.
Definitely a compliment.
You make up a whole 45% just by yourself.
You're welcome.
Oh boy. Anyway, Weapon X
Weapon
seems like a very interesting book.
Are you reading it, Will?
I started trying to do the Trisha Takanawa voice. It
Oh,
seems like a very interesting book.
it's gonna rain.
It's gonna rain!
Thanks, Ollie.
Thanks, Ollie. Now back to the news.
All right. So anyway,
Aww.
Weapon X-22 is coming out this week. It's going to be a rebranding of the book, still being written by the two current writers, Greg Pak and Fred Van Lente. Fred Van Lente, who's been at the store, real great guy, a real nice guy.
He
my
writes
best
fun
friend.
things.
We hope to have him back at the store soon. Through the grapevine, there's been some chatter that he might be working on some new Valiant books,
Oh.
or a new
Yeah,
Valiant book.
bring back Ivar Time Walker.
Yeah,
Bring
yo,
him
Fred,
back.
listen, if you're listening to this, yeah, man, you left us hanging. We
Yeah,
need
man,
to know.
what the heck?
We need to know who was that at the end? Who was it? From what time is that?
So back to the X-Men stories.
So it's a new era of the Weapon X Force.
Well, it
Yes,
is and
it
it's not.
is.
Like, I'm super
Yeah.
excited to see Mystique back on the team with
Of course,
Sabretooth.
Domino
Well,
is killer.
It's literally become just a kill team. It's basically what, it's basically X-Force from right after Messiah Complex. It's Sabretooth, Domino, Mystique, Lady Deathstrike, and Omega Red. Yeah, that's where
my.
everyone heard. Everyone heard right. Omega
And,
Red.
and once again, though, I mean, anytime you have Mystique and Sabretooth that are trying to coexist on a book, all the shenanigans go wrong.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's so much fun. And
We love
the
shenanigans.
chemistry between the two of them, with how much they hate each other and other things, it just makes for such a fun read. And
Why
I'm
do
sure
they hate each other, Steve?
they just do.
Oh.
There's a lot of
They share a
history.
child, actually.
Yeah.
Oh.
They have
Yeah.
a child together who, I
Grows
can't-
up to be a psychopath and hate mutants.
Right now, what's going on is they've again, the Weapon X book has now become the kill team. Essentially the X-Force book. I wouldn't be surprised if soon the book just gets retitled as X-Force. But Greg Pak and Fred Van Lente have been doing a great job writing.
Yeah.
And
the art is actually back on point, because I'm not going to lie, the artist for the last 2-3 issues was a little hit or miss.
Yeah.
For my personal taste.
Yeah. So there we go. There's a lot of X-Men stuff this week so far. A lot of big
It's
X-Men.
a big X-Men week.
It is a lot of big X-Men news
Weapon X is coming out tomorrow
Oh, yeah,
or today.
wow. This is going
when
to be
you're-
one of
this
those
week.
days.
This week. Just come to the store, pick it up during store hours.
You still
now
keep
I have to
doing
clarify
that.
that.
You don't have to. You just choose to.
Well, he kind of has
Well,
to
you're
because
the
someone
one
was
who brought it out.
promoting like breaking and entering last week.
Did you see the interview video when I went during store
Yes,
hours?
I did.
Yes. Yeah.
I watched that.
I really enjoyed making
By the
that.
way, hey Will, I have to point out, like you got real intense at the end there. You were like.
I was very aggressive, but I feel
Yeah.
like I got my point across.
I just want to also point out, though, like, that was a very lovely Willovo is what I almost said.
Willovo?
Willovo video that you posted.
A
Will.
Wildio?
Oh, thank you.
You're
It was a great
I
Wildio.
want to give a special shout out to Matt Rothstein and Stephen Leo for helping me out on the camera crew.
Oh, they got a
there
gold star.
very much. They filmed it for me. So
All right.
They get 2
thank you to
gold
you
stars.
guys, man.
So, Next up on the new releases this week, we've got Ninjak. Ninja K #10 is coming out this week.
I cannot wait until they relabel it and we can just go back to calling him Ninjak again.
Well, it fits for the story.
It fits for the
I
story.
mean, the story basically. I mean, what's going on is it's the new arc for Ninjak. It's just
Ninja K.
Ninja K.
It's the new arc for Ninja K.
The basic story premise is that the character we've known as Ninjak, we find out is actually part of an MI6 program. He works for the British government of different agents who are put into what they called the Ninja program, and they were given different letters to identify them. Kind of like the 00 program, but a Ninja program.
It's also really interesting and cool. I mean, for the first story arc, because they started doing it, they kind of stopped it, but I'm hoping with this one we pick it back up. We go back in and we get like little one-shots within the series of what some of their escapades were and how they became Ninja A or Ninja B or
Ninja Z.
We're not there yet. We're only at K.
Oh.
Read the book, Will.
I really hope there
Isn't,
just becomes an alphabet of
I hope so
ninjas.
too, actually.
I was gonna say, because isn't Colin the last one? Isn't he the end of the program, Ninja K? They don't go much further, do they?
Colin hasn't died yet. Or they haven't broken Colin yet, because that's the whole thing.
Right.
They either die, they get broken, or they just eventually just become so broken and submissive that they end up training their replacement.
That's pretty... Is it like a horse? Like, I broke his leg.
Kind of.
Sort of.
We're gonna
But
have
like,
to...
you know, you get like some of the ninjas piece out of the program, and you find out like when is it MI6?
Yeah, it's MI6.
When MI6 is like bring you into being a ninja, pick a letter, they literally like destroy your life.
Nice.
Yes.
Like the reason why who is it, Ninja H?
Yeah.
Ninja H is all like, we need to end this, is all because of the things that MI6 has done to him and the people who he loves.
So, well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Right now, the basic premise of the story has been that someone's been hunting down whoever's left of the ninja program, anyone who's still alive.
And it's also interesting because Colin has to deal with the other ninjas' enemies as well.
Yeah.
Because a few of them pop up.
I mean, one of the things that this story arc's done, too, is it's built a really good rogues gallery for him. I mean, aside from the ones that he's already had. You got the Seven Shadows. Now you're going to have whoever's left of the ninja program. So it's going to be a pretty intense...
and also, the last... I don't even know what the last story arc was called. But that last story arc was a nice break from all the spy espionage things that they were doing. So they balance it out really well. Christos Gage and I forget who the artist is.
So just imagine there's actually a ninja called Ninja J.
Ninja J.
Ninja G.
Like yeah, but like at least you know.
Ninja.
At least you can call him like Ninjag.
Ninjag.
Like, but like, what do you call like Ninja J? Like
Ninjage.
Oh, I can't wait for
Ninjage?
Nigel.
Is that how we're?
I mean, it's Ninja A, like Ninja.
Ninja.
Ninjaya.
Ninja.
Oh, Ninjaya.
Ninja.
In the house.
Ninjab.
Ninjak.
Ninjak.
I don't know what I'm doing.
It's still Ninjak.
Ninja.
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 Happening.
I guess it'd be like a long A, like Ninja.
Ninja.
I also want to take this time to
Ninja.
point out that everyone listening should have checked their email because our gracious host posts this week's books coming out.
Boom, boom, boom. Become a subscriber.
Yeah.
Get that email.
And
get-
other fun events that are
And
happening
a
in the
10%
store.
discount.
So just throwing that out there.
Thank
you, Devon, for keeping us in the loop.
I try. So next up on this week's big releases, a new book from DC and Brian Michael Bendis.
So this is the secret Bendis project we've been waiting for.
No, it's actually just a normal Bendis project that they've already announced.
I like the cover.
Oh, well,
Wasn't a secret at all. Oh, nice.
damn.
I like the cover.
So no, it's one of Bendis's books that he announced when he signed over to DC. It's a mature audience title. It's called Pearl.
Not
So you little kids, you can't read it. Sorry
Yeah,
about
sorry.
it.
Oh, yeah,
So
it is
it's
a
a-
mature
Get
title.
the trade when you're old enough.
It is a book about the main character's name is Pearl, and she is
Tattoo artist.
a tattoo artist. Yes, a tattoo artist who is also an assassin for the Yakuza.
The Yakuza.
Whoa.
Like you do.
You're like,
So right
Okay.
now, what's
Thank you.
happening is the first issue basically is opening up with she's trying to get out of the life of the Yakuza with being an assassin until she meets her counterpart from another clan, and I guess things take a turn from there. So it's kind of like Orphan Black meets Jessica Jones.
Oh, I was gonna say you took only half of what I said before.
Yeah, because I actually used the thing that actually is related to it.
You never saw Sarah Michelle Gellar's The Ringer, have you?
Yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar's The Ringer is when she just takes over her sister's life.
Same kind of concept there.
Yeah, but she's not taking over anyone's life in this. She's just
Not that you know of. Listen, I'm stretching for soap opera references here, okay?
that wasn't a soap
Yes, it
opera.
was.
It was not. Really
It was a nighttime soap.
send that to me. But please, and thank you for
You're
showing
welcome.
me.
I thought you would want to see that.
It sounds like an interesting book, from what we know already, and
Did you flip through it? I want to know if it was pretty.
the cover looks
Yeah,
pretty.
Yeah, the cover looks
It's
stunning.
it's actually the same person who worked on the last Jessica Jones book.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Thank you, Toad.
Wow.
I'm the
It's more like
best.
Owen Wilson. Wow.
Owen Wilson.
You should put that in.
Oh. Owen
Wow.
Wilson.
Just a clip of him
Just
going.
a clip of him going, "Wow." Yeah.
I'm not a big Owen Wilson fan.
His kids don't believe he's not.
His
He's
kids
Lightning
don't
McQueen.
like him either.
Nice. Wow.
So everyone out there, if
was
you're a
harsh.
Bendis fan, if you're a fan of Jessica Jones,
Go for
Or
it.
an indie
Probably-
person.
yeah, I would say check it out.
How-
It should be
it's-
interesting. I mean, Brandon, what do you think?
I think it looks smashing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's it.
No, the art looks cool, and I love Bendis. I mean, he hasn't done. I mean,
He's done wrong, but
he's
but
done
for the
wrong,
majority of
but
the-
yeah,
you know.
he's pretty good.
God.
I mean, I loved his Spider-Man run and the Miles Morales.
I just think about that. I was like, wait, what Spider-Man did he do?
Miles Morales.
I know, I
man.
forgot.
All of Ultimate Spider-Man.
The new Avengers I've heard is fantastic. His
Oh,
run.
it's
His
really is.
original
I like it.
run on New Avengers was amazing.
At what point did you want to peace out?
When he relaunched it with a new #1 after 65 issues. Another big release this week is
There's more?
it's the Star Wars Beckett issue,
Ba-ba-da.
which is going to be dealing with the character that Woody Harrelson plays in the new Solo movie, who is the guy who brought Han Solo into the mercenary smuggler life.
Yeah, he was a cool character. I liked following him around.
He was a fun character. He was definitely interesting.
So
I assume it's going to be discussing his origins and things of
Yeah,
that nature. How
it's-
he met
who's writing it?
what's her face, his wife from the movie,
Yeah,
his girlfriend.
It's all about them. It's all about how he gets involved with Enfys Nest. The
That was a really funny name, and I don't know why.
But yeah, he was really cool. He was a really cool aspect of Solo, and I'm looking forward to.
yeah, I'm
seeing
looking forward to
something
seeing
with
where
that.
it goes. For everyone out there who was a fan of the movie, which the Soul was actually a pretty good movie.
It was. I liked it. I'm like losing my voice over here.
You really are.
I don't know what's happening.
Oh,
Drink some water.
I'm
Dugan's
collapsing.
writing it.
Oh yeah, Jerry.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out who was writing it.
Yeah.
Who'd you say was writing it?
Jerry Dugan.
Jerry Dugan.
Dum Dum Dugan is writing.
No.
What's your problem with Dum Dum Dugan?
No, nothing. I was making a joke because his last
Oh.
name is Dugan.
I thought like you
It's
legitimately
the
didn't like
same
him.
guy who's been writing Infinity War.
Yeah, that's what I was getting real confused.
You are
about.
aware there is a Marvel character named Dum Dum Dugan, correct?
Straight up, no.
You really?
There's a Marvel
Are you
character named
serious?
Dum Dum Dugan.
Thank you,
Yes.
Brandon, for having my back with this.
I'm with you.
He's like
You-
Captain America's friend.
He's Nick Fury's friend.
Clearly, he wasn't important.
He's very. You.
He was
wait,
played
Wait,
by.
hold on,
wait,
pause. I actually do know Dum Dum Dugan. I thought you were kidding. That's why I joined you.
Wow, you're
No,
you're just following
In the
crowd
Captain
now.
America movie, he was played by the
He's
guy
the
who
one with the-
plays
He's got a
Damien
bowler
Dark.
hat.
hat
He has
and
the
the mustache.
mustache.
Oh,
One of the
wow,
main characters
yeah.
of Secret Warriors, which you read the entire series.
They turned him into a robot, right?
Yeah.
That took me a minute.
Oh boy, this
Oh,
joke.
you're leaving that in.
This joke
We
got
can leave that in,
dissected
that's
way
fine.
too badly.
Yeah, that was bad. That
That's,
got
I'm
violent.
completely fine with that. Leave it
Anyway,
in. I'm not ashamed.
So
Oh, shit.
the last
takes a
one of the
lot.
last big releases up on the list here is it's the prelude to the Spider-Man event for the fall. Edge of Spidergeddon.
Spidergeddon.
Spider.
Do all the announcements.
Spidergeddon, yeah.
Edge of Spidergeddon.
I think that's what did it. I
Yeah.
think that's what caused me
Why
losing
are
my
you
voice. So I'm
hurting?
gonna.
Please
I'm gonna stop,
Your
yeah.
Macho Man voice.
God, you are like.
So hey, Edge
I
of
gotta commit to
Spidergeddon,
the bit, I
number
don't know.
one. Edge of Spidergeddon number one is going to be focusing on Spider-Punk from.
Spider-Punk.
He's one of the characters from the Spider-Verse.
Oh.
Is it
He's
going to
got-
be
he's got the
focusing
mohawk, plays a
solely
rock.
on him, or is it
Yeah.
going to be he's the main character, but we're going across the Spider-Verse again?
No. Each issue of Edge of Spider-Verse is going to focus on one person from the Spider-Verse.
Who's writing?
Oh,
Edge of Spider-Verse?
okay.
It's like the Revenge of the Spider-Verse from whatchamacallit?
Wasn't that a game for
Who'd you
PlayStation
watch
2?
it?
Edge of
Revenge.
Spider-Verse?
No, Revenge.
No,
No.
Edge of Spider-Verse is
Oh.
Revenge of.
I thought you said
Spider-Verse.
Revenge.
I did say Revenge.
Oh, super.
Edge is the game that you're referring to.
Are you looking forward to it? Tell us in the comments
Yeah.
below.
Yeah, no. The,
Or on Twitter.
The Edge of Spider-Geddon
Tweet
looks
us.
like it's going to be a lot of fun.
In Spider-Geddon, aren't they introducing the new video game Spider-Man for the first time in
in
comics?
Spider-Geddon number 0, yes.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
gonna
the new
be-
one with like the white outlines.
Yeah,
I really
yeah,
like
the
that
white
suit.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
looks
it's really cool.
badass.
But yeah, for everyone
Sorry.
out there who
He looks
No,
knows,
you
really
can say
cool.
that.
Okay.
I don't know what we're talking
For-
about.
for everyone out there, the
You haven't seen the PS4 Spider-Man? Really? He looks
I don't
so
video
cool.
game.
All right. Cool. Well, he looks cool, and if anybody wants to send me a PS4 so I can play it, that'd be great, and I appreciate it.
My friend Steven, who filmed for the interview video, he's actually getting the PS4 bundle edition that comes with
that has the white
Spider-Man.
spider on it.
Yeah,
That is a cool costume.
it looks.
yeah,
I'm
so-
excited to see that.
But for everyone out there, for Edge of Spider-Verse or Edge of Spider-Geddon number 1, like I said, it's focusing on Spider-Punk, who in this reality is Hobby Brown, who for everyone who's a big Spider-Man fan, Hobby Brown is actually the Prowler in the regular universe.
Oh.
So it's kind of
Prowler, he's on the
The
prowl.
Prowler, who is
Yeah.
currently dead in our world, isn't he?
no, he's
Fine.
alive.
Is
He's
he
still
not?
alive, isn't he? After the clone, he was alive.
Oh, he was
after-
cloned.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he got cloned, but he was like one of the clones that's like was able to stay alive.
Yeah.
Damn you,
Thank you.
clones!
And then he had his own run for a hot toddy second.
Hot
Yeah, it was like
toddy?
five. It was like 5 issues.
Yeah.
It was just to tie in with the clone conspiracy.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody. I mean, that's what we got for new releases. Like I said, a lot of big stuff. A lot of X-Men stuff. Some pretty cool new Bendis book. Star Wars fans have something to read this week. Valiant fans and of course all you Spider-Man fans out there.
Come on in,
So
check it
Just
out.
come in and buy things.
Yeah.
Buy
And
all
talk
of
with
the
us.
things.
Buy everything.
And talk with us. Have a conversation.
Yeah,
Buy everything.
Come down on a Wednesday. Wednesdays,
What
that's
kind
when
of
everyone's
weird
here.
share
That's
voice
my
was
new
that?
distinct.
Usually.
Nice. I like that you got share. I was just trying to do a sheep, but I mean,
Oh, I got share out of sheep.
that's pretty great. I mean, it's close, but it's gonna be my new voice because it doesn't hurt my throat as much.
So on to the news, everybody. We got some big things going on the last week or so, and
boy.
first up, and I'm sure everyone has a big opinion on this. The Batwoman casting for the Arrowverse happened this week,
Hoorah!
and it's
I'm interested. It's going to
It's-
be expanding the world. Oh, sorry, you want to say who it
the
is?
actress who got casted. Will is
No, you can't talk about it. We
It's
can't talk about
Steve.
spoilers.
Steve was cast
I
as
am
Batwoman.
Batwoman. Hear
Hear
me
me
roar.
roar. Yeah. Nice.
Thank you, Will.
You're welcome.
Ruby Rose got casted this week as Batwoman.
What? It's Ruby Rose?
Ruby
Also
Rose
known as
of Orange
Steven
is the New Black.
Whoa! Ruby Rose.
So-
That's the girl from Orange is the New Black, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
Wowee.
what's that really weird shark movie? The Meg.
Yeah.
The
she-
She's
Meg.
from that.
The new
Oh,
one?
wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
cool.
Triple X Return
I've-
of.
Oh, yeah, Return
Triple
of
X
Xander
was-
Cage.
Yeah, that was actually a lot
She's
of
like
fun.
BFFs with Nina Dobrev, isn't she?
Yeah.
Nina, call me.
Ironically enough, my first choice for Kate Kane.
Yeah? I mean, if she listens to the podcast, if you want, I can put your phone number in the description.
One of my trainers for my job actually worked with her.
Oh, that's nice.
He did some photo shoot that she was having done at some resort
Wait,
in
who?
Hudson. Nina
Oh.
Dobrev.
Oh, we're still on Nina? Got it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just picturing her in my head and I got a little lightheaded.
Calm down. Thank
Nice.
God we're sitting.
But, we apparently, from what I can tell from the trailers, it's definitely it's going to be the focus of. Not for the show, but for the crossover, because it's going to be the crossover event of the shows this season. It's going to be focusing on Batgirl showing up.
Batwoman.
Or Batwoman. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think I actually really like the. I don't particularly care for a lot of stuff in the Arrowverse at all, but I actually think this is probably one of their better castings, honestly.
I've never seen Ruby Rose in anything. I've heard Orange is the New Black is a good show, but I've heard nothing in particular specifically towards her or anything in that nature.
She's badass. Like, she came in hot and was like...
Yeah, the couple things that I've seen her and I've actually enjoyed... I mean, she doesn't have any speaking lines in John Wick 2. She's actually a mute assassin, but she's actually pretty cool. She's at least very athletic in the movie.
Like Colossus in the X-Men movies. Because he was like,
oh my God.
said a line.
And she was also...
carried a TV with one arm. That's all I remember.
And I actually really liked her in Triple X Return of Xander Cage. That was a lot of fun. She played a sniper, and she was pretty badass in that too.
She bites it in a fan in the last Resident Evil movie. A giant fan cuts her up in a little chunk.
For some reason I pictured her biting a fan when you said that, and I was like, what
she
are
bites
you
it
talking
from a
about?
fan. A giant fan.
Why didn't you just say she got killed by a fan like a normal person?
Why are you
Something
talking
interesting, though, that I want to bring up is that from what we can tell in the trailers, it kind of looks like she's coming from Supergirl's Earth.
I thought they confirmed that she was coming from Supergirl.
Did they?
I thought so,
didn't know. But that's interesting in the fact that they are expanding Supergirl's world a little bit, because I don't know whether or not it's confirmed, because they're kind of like wishy-washy on where
world.
Black Lightning is.
I thought they said he lives in that
They
world.
reference Supergirl a lot on the show, but then again, a lot of people from Green Arrow's world know who she is.
When I get to that, when I get caught up on that, I'll let you know, because I haven't finished.
I also have
here's
to
my
catch
question,
up on
though,
Black
Will, 'cause
Lightning.
my other thing that kind of it casts a little doubt on if she is going to be from Supergirl or not is the fact that they've actually officially confirmed that Bruce Wayne does exist in the Arrowverse as Batman.
They confirmed it in
of course.
Supergirl too.
They've also Oliver Queen has said Bruce Wayne by name. Also,
yeah, but they've actually
they've referenced
established
Wayne
that he
Tech.
is Batman in the universe. So I don't know.
I just want them to
Was
do
that
a
recently?
crisis.
I remember when they established Oracle, but
They said Oracle, but in Oliver Queen, in like when he's being accused of Green Arrow, like the third time,
for the 100th time, he makes the comment about
he's like, well, Bruce Wayne doesn't go around at night running around and beating up people, and then they've been referencing Batman on. I guess he exists on both Earths because they both reference him. They reference him so much, but. What I want them to do is just do a crisis and merge them together. Jesus Christ, is it so dumb that half of them exist on another planet?
Well,
just right together.
Because I'm still, depending on the day and my mood is depending on how I feel about Ruby Rose playing Batwoman. But she did do an interview with Jimmy Fallon, I want to say, where...
Did she talk about it?
She really did. And you know what? She got, like, super personal about it. And it made me really happy for her.
I'd imagine.
Because she sat there and she's like, you know, when I was young, I knew I was a lesbian, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And she's like, I didn't have anyone that I could look up to. Now I could be that person for young girls. Yeah. And I'm like, that's kind of nice.
It is the first, like, lesbian-led show.
That isn't on what are they called? Prime networks?
Prime time.
Like, it's not on HBO. It's not on Showtime.
I mean, do you think they're bringing her in to make another relationship with her sister?
Yes.
I hope not, but I have a feeling that... Well, you got to remember something, too. The sister is also in the military, and Kate, in the comics, got kicked out of the military for being a lesbian. Yeah. And I think that they could, unfortunately, tie that in with the sister, because it could be one of those situations where... her and the sister, or maybe in a relationship, and she just like completely like throws Kate under the bus.
Or the way that you bring her in, period, is because Maggie Sawyer left Supergirl in the last season.
Yeah.
Bring her in as Maggie Sawyer's fiance.
You could.
They were technically almost married in New 52. She was supposed to propose.
Almost.
Yep.
And Maggie Sawyer is reoccurring. She's not off Supergirl. I think she's down to reoccurring status. So you could easily...
Maggie...
the girlfriend's sister, or the girlfriend's
sister's
sister.
girlfriend?
Yeah.
The sister's girlfriend.
The sister's
I
girlfriend.
wasn't. I'm gonna be. I wasn't really
She's the
super
girlfriend's
interested
sister.
in anything that she was doing. Do we also have Cyborg's casting on the news feed?
Did they actually cast
They
him?
did. I didn't.
Yes.
Wait, for the
I-
Arrowverse?
No,
the Doom Patrol show.
Patrol.
Actually,
Oh.
he's been
Yeah.
cast for the Doom Patrol show, not the Titan show. The Doom Patrol.
show.
What is it with DC and trying to make him not be a Titan? Someone correct.
Yeah, it's even on the same network now. Like they're right there. They even have a Doom Patrol show. Like they have an episode called Doom Patrol, which I assume he will make an appearance in and maybe transfer over, because it doesn't say like, you know, he could show up in the Doom Patrol episode and be like, man, he could be in the way Beast Boy became a Titan from Doom Patrol. They could just do that with Cyborg.
Yeah, but I think with Cyborg, they want to try and like
make the Doom Patrol relevant.
No, they want to try and make Cyborg relevant.
Cyborg's relevant. They made him in the Justice League
Titans.
movie.
Yeah.
He was in the Justice League movie. He's a main
irrelevant.
Everybody knows who Cyborg is. You go up to somebody and you say, "What is the Doom Patrol?" They will look at you with the weirdest face.
Okay.
Cyborg?
Oh, wait. Stop.
Cyborg,
Wait,
you know,
I want to point
just
out
want him
something.
in the Titan.
Hold on, stop for a
Yeah.
second. Stop. Okay. Ed, that's exactly the same thing people said when they said, Marvel, Guardians
an
of
Avenger?
the Guardians of the what? What are you gonna? How are you gonna even make that movie?
You
And at the
rehire
same
James
time,
Gunn?
that's not what I'm saying though.
Relevant.
Too soon.
The thing is that Cyborg is
Not
way
soon
more
enough.
relevant than the Doom Patrol.
Yeah, but so is a number of other Marvel characters as opposed to Guardians. But they made a Guardians movie.
We
Got a
will see
Guardian.
how from what it looks like,
And
the
decide-
Titan show is not going to be good. It does
No.
not give me
God.
any hope for Doom
No
Patrol.
But
hope.
at the
Zero.
but you see,
I mean,
here's the thing,
Cyborg
though.
might have been saved by joining Doom Patrol
Yeah,
instead of.
but here's the
Teen
thing,
We'll
though.
see.
The Doom Patrol show could be really, really amazing. And actually, there is a place for the style that they're going for in the Titan show in Doom Patrol.
Well,
'Cause Doom
yeah.
Patrol is a dark book. It's not. They're not happy characters.
Well, it's a Morrison book, ain't it?
But are we excited
Not
for
originally.
the Cyborg casting? Is what I want to say.
No.
No.
Who got
I-
cast?
Are
I
you
don't
familiar
actually
with
know.
the actor? I will show you a picture. I actually loaded it up on my phone because I got prepared.
I'm
Because I
not
was
too
like,
f-
I don't remember seeing that,
Oh,
and I feel like
yeah.
that's something we have to talk about. It's this guy.
Oh, okay, he's cute.
This guy will
What's
be
the
playing
actor's
Cyborg.
name, Will?
All I want to. His name is
Stelio.
Jovian Jovian Wade.
Okay, well, I mean, what's he been in?
Charming, sarcastic Vic. Despite it doesn't say here what he's been in.
All right, I mean,
I think he's relatively new to the scene, though.
my biggest problem with this casting. It's not even anything against the actor. It's not even anything against the fact that it's Cyborg. It's the fact that we keep casting characters that already have someone in the spot for things that we don't need in other things.
Maybe we'll get like.
Like honestly, we should. Grant Gustin should have been the Flash in the Justice League movie. There should have been no question about it. And the same thing I have.
If that's what their plan was, though, I kind of I want it to be linked, but at the same time, I'm glad it's separate because, like, do you really want the stench of the DCEU touching the TV? Like, the TV shows at least have some saving grace in them.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I feel that if they had tried to make a cohesive, live action universe like Marvel has,
And then done the TV.
I don't think financially it would have worked. With, like, you'd have to, like, bring Ben Affleck in every once in a while, and Henry Cavill and Gal Gadot. They'd have to show up on the show.
No, they wouldn't. That's
for a
it.
couple of... Yeah, but people would
No
hate it if they
Avenger
didn't.
has shown up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but S.H.I.E.L.D.
Nick
is
Fury
still...
did.
Nick
I
Fury's not an
hated
Avenger.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I tried to watch it
Why?
twice, and I was like, no.
You're.
I liked it until we got to the Inhumans saga, and I was
Yeah,
like,
the Inhumans is
meh.
where I dropped
Yeah,
off.
but
I
you
was
know
like,
what? It
"Bruh."
picks up.
Every season of that show has gotten
Yeah, it gets
better.
progressively better.
So yeah, another piece of news this week. More movie news is Guy Pearce is now in talks to join the Bloodshot movie.
I am the Mandarin.
I really just want him to play Rampage.
No, Guy Pearce he's in talks to play the doctor who creates
Oh,
Bloodshot.
that's depressing. No, I like Guy Pearce. I really just like him being a villain, though. He plays
Yeah,
a
he's
good
as a
villain.
The doctor's a villain.
Oh, I didn't know that. I assumed he died. Most of the time, the Doctor
Captain
dies.
America.
Well, yeah, most of the time the Doctors die.
It's also the first Bloodshot movie.
So
origin, creation, like it's the first movie.
Anyway, Devon, as the Bloodshot fan in the room, how do you feel?
I'm interested to see how he does. I mean, like I said, he does play a good villain, so playing an evil doctor would be kind of cool. He's actually replacing Michael Sheen because Michael Sheen was originally supposed to play the character, but he had a scheduling conflict, so he wasn't able to go to set. So right now they're, like I said, they're in talks with Guy Pearce to take over the role, and it could be a lot of fun. I mean, that's another star name added to the roster for the Bloodshot movie.
I mean, to be fair, that's a smart decision to bring in star power. That's exactly what they did with Guardians. They brought in, Bradley Cooper, Vin Diesel. They brought all these Zoe Saldana, Chris Pratt. They brought in all these people know because that's the box office draw. That's where the main draw is.
That's also what the draw for the original Iron Man was.
Yeah.
You had
wasn't what's his face?
You had Jeff Bridges. You had Gwyneth Paltrow. You had Robert Downey Jr., who he actually wasn't the one they were expecting to be the draw of the movie.
No, weren't they expecting? Why can't I think of his name?
I can't think of the guy who played Jim Rhodes first.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard, yeah. So Terrence Howard. That's actually why Terrence Howard didn't get called back for the second movie, because he was requesting more money than Robert Downey Jr. for the second movie.
And they laughed.
So they were like, no.
I like the nice meme of the Revengers, which is all the actors that Marvel has ditched and recasted.
Aww.
Like Ed Norton, Terrence Howard. There are like 5 of them, I think.
Well, yeah, but
it was pretty good.
Ed Norton purposely, he was...
blind.
Everybody in the Bruce Willis roast got him for the Marvel thing.
It was beautiful.
He didn't even do the press tour for the movie. That's why he wasn't at Comic-Con with Roth when he was, because the star power they had for the talks at the Comic-Cons was the guy who played the villain.
Nice. Which one?
Abomination.
Ah.
But yeah. So actually, going into some Marvel news, they just announced that Nick Fury and Maria Hill are going to be in the new Spider-Man Far From Home movie.
But in Infinity War.
Spoiler alert!
Oh my God!
Yeah,
the spoiler alerts there, so they're dead.
So just a real big spoiler alert for everybody. All the people who, just so you know, if you didn't realize it yet, all the people who quote unquote died. They're the ones who actually have contracts for new movies, right? Everyone who's alive doesn't have a contract anymore.
Well, that's not true. Widow still has contracts.
She's supposed to be getting a movie.
Getting her own movie.
But she's going to be negotiating movie to movie now. She doesn't have a contract.
A lot of people
anymore.
are expecting, the two people, the two original Avengers to come out of it being Black Widow and somebody else. But I'm not buying that it's that 2 is the correct number, because again, the Russo brothers are if you look at all the stuff they said going into. Hawkeye's got his own mission in Infinity War. Don't worry, you'll see him. They lied. They lied to take you off the path of.
I hope they blindside the crap out of us.
Of course, they did a great job of doing it with Infinity War.
Oh yeah.
So let's do that. But Nick Fury and Maria Hill showing up in Infinity War. You said something very interesting before we started the podcast about that. About them and the Red Skull's involvement.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. A big part of Spider-Man's mythos has always been the fact that his parents, Richard...
My parents are dead.
Aww.
Richard and Mary Parker were originally Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's actually how they met. That's how they met. They fell in love. They had, Peter. And
there was sex in between that.
Well, yeah, they just didn't. They didn't just go in and kill
baby.
That's how you make a baby.
Chicka wow wow.
Chicka Peter. Peter Parker.
Oh my God! Stop it.
So what winds up happening with that was that the Red Skull in the comics was actually responsible for Peter's parents being murdered. So
Gasp!
There was actually
the Red Skull actually ruined someone's life. Who would have thought?
Yeah, the Red Skull. Such a nice guy.
He's a patron saint.
Well, just got recasted as Ross Marquardt, and he's pretty great. So.
I like him.
In the Infinity War?
In Infinity War,
yeah.
Bring it back.
I was sitting there right when he showed up. I was like, oh my god, Red Skull. And then he started talking. I was like, wait, I know this voice. Why do I know this voice? Because I kept it out of everything. Like, even Ross, I follow him on Instagram. He didn't talk about it at all.
Yeah, does he voice him on a regular basis? Because he sounds like the default voice actor they usually use for Red Skull.
He might. I don't know. But I was like,
he's an imitator. That's what he does.
So,
yeah,
well, in
he
any
does
case,
great impersonation.
so with the inclusion of Maria Hill and Nick Fury in the new Spider-Man movie, it begs the question of if we're going to be going down a route of something that have. I mean, now that the Red Skull's also back, I mean that's going to be something we're going to have to.
I mean, is he though?
I was gonna say, was that
really
it all depends on the outcome of Infinity War Part 2.
Well, as of Infinity War and as of the big reveal of him being back, they've stated that they have more plans for Red Skull now that he's no longer imprisoned by the Soul Stone.
Well, yeah, that logically makes sense. He would not be imprisoned now that the Soul Stone's gone. He's guarding nothing.
No, wouldn't Gamora be in prison now?
So
my question is
she's in the stone. She's not there.
The logic behind him actually being imprisoned is what bothers me. Like,
why?
Because he gets attacked by one cosmic cube, which is the Reality Stone.
Yeah, the cosmic cosmic cube.
What connects him to the Soul Stone? It's just dumb. I think it's dumb.
Because
he's back, man. I'm happy.
I mean, no, I'm glad he's back. There's just no real good explanation for it.
Well,
so
isn't that the same thing as
they talk to each other though, the gems. So he was like, "Oh, you don't got a friend. Here you go."
And also, who was guarding the Soul Stone before Red Skull got there? Like, what?
Well, it could also just be one of those things where, because you gotta remember when we got originally the Power Stone, which was the cosmic cube in the movie, the Tesseract, wasn't.
No, that was the Mind Stone,
Power
wasn't
Stone
it?
is in Guardians.
Okay, it's the Mind. It's the Mind Stone.
The Mind Stone was the cube.
No, the Mind Stone was the scepter.
Which one is the one in Vision?
That's why he takes over Hawkeye.
That's the one out of the scepter.
The one out of the scepter was the one.
The Reality Stone is the Tesseract.
Oh, the Reality Stone.
The Mind Stone is the scepter.
So here you go.
The Power Stone is Guardians.
But you gotta remember something. At the time, it wasn't meant to be a stone. It was going to just be the cosmic cube.
Yeah.
And you can rope that into maybe the Reality Stone had the power to. He wanted ultimate power. He wanted, whatever, and it could have just sent him there. We don't know. We don't know what exactly the whole thing is. The fact of the matter is that he got ultimate power, but he can't do anything with it. He's stuck there.
Phenomenal cosmic power.
Itty bitty living
space.
But yeah. So again,
R.I.P.
the Red Skull being back, and
so
Peter's parents being spies. Obviously, Peter's parents are still dead in the continuity because all we see is his Aunt May.
Who's hot? Sorry.
So yeah, we have.
Please don't sleep with my aunt.
I'm like,
Please don't sleep with
doesn't
my
he
aunt.
say that?
Yeah.
Yes, he does. I'm like rooting for #Tony Stark and Aunt May.
Why? He proposed.
That'd be
to
a
have
cool.
her.
That'd be a
But
cool.
still.
You want him to cheat
I wish there was
on
a
his
real-
wife?
I mean,
I
Gwyneth
wish there was
Paltrow
a-
was gone for a good time. I had
want him to
I
cheat on his wife.
I wish there was a real Jarvis still. Like
Yeah.
Jarvis wasn't, because in the comics, Jarvis and Aunt May actually date.
Do they?
Yeah, in New Avengers, they actually
I'm
dated.
not surprised.
Weird.
So that was
I
pretty
thought that
cool.
woman-
So
That
does
seems like a
Aunt
really
May
weird
and J.
matchup.
Jonah Jameson's
Yeah.
brother?
Yeah,
Father.
she
Father?
dated. Yeah,
Right,
she
because they're
marries-
stepbrothers, right?
she
right.
marries the
That's
they're
so weird to
step
me.
cousins.
They're
Ew.
Step cousins.
That's weird.
Not
Right.
anymore because spoiler alert, J. Jonah Jameson Sr. died. Yeah.
Oh my god!
Spoiler alert.
So anyway,
That
know
wasn't
what that
permanent. Whoa.
so yeah, so
Everything in comics is permanent, guys. Let's be honest.
So with Nick Fury, Maria Hill being back, a lot of really cool stories that could open up, especially if they start incorporating stuff about Peter's parents being spies.
Be something fun to bring into S.H.I.E.L.D. too.
Yeah. Could
Little
be-
one-shot episodes. that
Ooh,
we'll
And hey, you
never
know what?
watch.
Maybe if Coulson survives the experience, maybe he'll be able to talk to Peter about his parents.
Oh, that would be fun.
You know?
Maybe Coulson will show up sometime in.
He should.
Anything.
It's kind of bull that he doesn't,
Yeah.
that
Kind
he
of
hasn't
important.
yet.
He's literally the catalyst that brought the Avengers together, and no one ever talks.
Well, you know
about
that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that was also partially because Whedon refused to write him back into Avengers 2. Because as far as Whedon was concerned, he was dead.
Well, now Whedon's gone, so screw it. Put him back.
But now it's so far
Didn't
gone.
Whedon
Like,
stay as a shoe? So
Whedon's production company did.
right. dumb.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Whedon's brother and his wife, or sister and her husband.
It was Whedon's brother and Whedon and his.
Don't get me wrong, like Clark Gregg is great, and I'm glad he's doing well, but it's just a dumb thing that they don't even address it.
Moving on, we have there's also some more big DC news. Ooh. Well, speculation really. Ooh. They put out a recent teaser for the new Heroes in Crisis event starting this fall.
Someone gonna die,
and it's who is gonna die in Heroes in Crisis?
It's gonna be Cyborg.
The list of characters of who it is going to be.
Okay.
Is it going to be Cyborg?
Yes.
Harley Quinn?
No. I wish.
Booster Gold?
No.
Kyle Rayner?
No.
Arsenal or Red Robin?
Well, this is
I think it's going to be Red Robin.
It might be, but because the article
they can't kill Red Robin now. They just almost
got
killed
him back.
Before.
Yeah,
they
so
totally Glenn us from The Walking Dead.
That makes it unlikely, and there's also a rumor that Arsenal's coming back to Red Hood and the Outlaws.
So it's Kyle Rayner.
So
it's Kyle Rayner, guys.
It's gonna be Cyborg.
Sure?
They're making him less and less important in the Justice League.
This is the murder that starts the whole event, so it's not going to be Booster and Harley because they're the main characters.
So here you go.
Unfortunately,
well, actually, it just says one of these characters is gonna die. It doesn't say that it's the one who starts the investigation.
It is though. It's totally that's what they're talking about. It's that.
Well, no, because the actual rumor about the murder that starts the investigation is that it's Wally West. Yeah. That's the rumor right now, is that they're going to kill Wally in the beginning of the book.
They shouldn't, because he's the better Flash.
Because he's the one who
they just brought him back.
Yeah,
that would be so dumb.
Yeah, they're not going to do Wally.
They just inducted him into the sanctuary for to get treated for whatever.
Yes.
And that's what they've been putting in all the books right now, is that Wally's over in that book. Real quick sidebar. Did you read the Superman book?
Which one?
Which one?
Superman, regular Superman. Did you read
the one that came out last week?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I have to point out a wild inconsistency. Barry, he has red hair.
Oh,
in the Bendis book, he has red hair.
No way.
Yeah, it was really confusing because I thought it was Wally, and then I read the book. I was like, "Why is he calling him Barry? And why does he have red hair? And why does he look like Wally?" So yeah, wild inconsistencies.
I want to see blonde Grant Gustin show up.
No, because stuff like this has happened before in Bendis' runs on like Avengers and everything.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that Bendis wrote in that it was Wally, and then
they were like, no,
and they're like, no, it's like you can only use Barry, and they just and they didn't send a memo to the artist, so he still drew Barry, or Wally rather.
I have to say, I think Devon's right. I think
that it's going to be Rayner.
It'll either be Kyle Rayner or it will be Arsenal.
I like Kyle Rayner.
Well, no,
I think it might be Cyborg too.
I think
but you know what?
Oh no, you know what? They're not going to do Cyborg. No. Odyssey's still coming out.
Yeah, no, but you know what?
Is it though?
Yeah, it's still coming out. But you know why? You know why it's going to be Kyle Rayner? Because Kyle Rayner, one, he's the only Green Lantern they excluded from the Rebirth poster when it came out 2 years ago. He's not on the Rebirth poster.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it right now. He's not there.
And he also didn't show up in Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps until like 10 issues ago?
That's because he was a White Lantern.
No, he was there. He showed up from time to time. He was the White Lantern. Yeah, he showed up from time to time as a White Lantern.
Why would he have been in it?
Yeah, but he's still a main. But he was a main focal point of the prior to Rebirth.
Kyle
with
Rayner
the points
was my
there,
Green
though.
Lantern, when I was a kid.
I love Kyle Rayner. I mean, I love all the Green Lanterns.
Yeah.
Growing up,
I'm legitimately not being funny.
Justice League was my first introduction to those characters, and John Stewart was my Green Lantern, and Wally West was my Flash, and that was the Justice League I grew up with, and I have a soft spot for those characters, even Shiera, like. Yeah, I do
not
enjoy
Kendra, or Kendra,
not
we call
Kendra.
her.
I mean,
are you reading Justice League right now with John Stewart's back? And he's like the
Ultraviolet.
That's
he's
ultraviolet.
We got into that in the last episode about how dumb that. But he's not going to. That's not a standpoint. Like a part of his character. He's not going to be the ultraviolet lantern. That's Sinestro's thing.
Yeah,
and he's
but
like,
I mean,
so anyway, you didn't even. I like that in the book he becomes the ultraviolet lantern, and you're like. What? The artist forgot something. He's back in his old uniform. He's just floating there in space with everybody else. And I'm like, that's the colors for the lantern. And he was like, oh. Oh, all right. That's still dumb. It is. It is a really dumb.
It doesn't make any sense why he doesn't have his at least the right. Like, if you want to change the color of the costume, fine, but he should still have his Sinestro Corps costume.
I almost actually want the hero that dies to be Harley.
I do too.
Because I really want.
Not a hero.
I know, but I don't
She's
care.
too popular to kill, though.
Yeah, but I really want this really great prequel issue about the Joker dealing with her death and actually being super upset about it.
That would be really interesting. If she died, what would the Joker do? Because he's shown to not care, but when she's gone, he does.
He'll just go get another one.
Maybe. We don't know. He's never made another one, has he?
No, but isn't that what part of the premise was in the
But that could also be like the beginning.
He does it in the cartoon. He takes an ad out for an actress to play Harley, and then she teams up with Batman. However, in the death, what was it for New 52? Death of the Family or Death in the Family? I get them both confused.
Death of the Family.
In the prequel issue where he kidnaps Harley, you find out that she is not the first Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
He has done that with other people, and she's actually like in a pit of dead Harleys.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's
clones,
interesting.
They're just other people.
I'd like to see that, explored, and maybe she's like the special one. We don't know if that where that'll go. To see him like go through that process of making a new one or trying to and failing, like that denial state. Maybe I just think that would be a very interesting story.
But it's also the Joker. It could have just been messing with her too. Just putting covering up a bunch of corpses in like Harley costumes.
That too, yeah. I feel like that's more likely. It would be interesting, but it would be very strange to see how that
Brandon,
would work.
who are you? I mean, this is a weird question. Who are you rooting for to die?
Normally the dark things come from me, and now you're just like, who do you want to die tonight?
I mean,
let's play a game.
I just think Cyborg like needs a full
death.
A full death. Yeah. I just think that in the new run of Justice League, they tried. Before Manhunter came back and Hawkgirl joined the team again, they tried making Cyborg the leader. It did not work.
They even did it in the book. They acknowledged it did not work.
Yeah, they even said it did not work. Cyborg
that book was not really that great anyway.
And
that was also a creative decision that took place right after they announced he was going to be the leader of the Justice League. And 2 issues into that run, they were like no, this isn't working.
Yeah, because Batman quits for like an issue.
But the thing is, he doesn't quit. He's still in the team, and everyone's just like, Cyborg, you're the leader, but what would Batman do? And it's just like, why are you the leader?
Yeah, it's so...
It was so dumb. And I didn't like the run there, and I think now
it's plain and simple for Cyborg. Cyborg is a Titan. He was a Teen Titan who became a Titan who should always have been a Titan. Okay, this is, you know what this was? If for anyone who read Flashpoint, basically what happened was, in the Flashpoint reality, he's like the greatest superhero on the planet, and the thing was that it would have been cool because where they took that from was in House of M. In House of M, Carol Danvers was Ms. Marvel, and she was the world's greatest superhero. And when they brought the reality back to normal, she remembered that. And
they all did.
And she said, "Oh my God! Like I could be so much more because I have all this power. Like I should be the world's greatest superhero." And she actively tried to become that. Cyborg becoming a Justice League member without actually remembering being a great hero in the Flashpoint reality doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. So trying to force him to be the character who he's not without... Like, if he had the memories, okay, it's one thing. But he doesn't. We reset the reality, and he's just some dude who's a teenager who got part of a mother box ingrained into his body. Mm-hmm. So it's that to me, I think that was like lazy writing on Jeff Johns' part.
Well, once Doomsday Clock is finished, I'm sure we're going to get a very different, like Cyborg's character. I think is going to be affected because a lot of people are starting to remember the old timeline. Because if you watch, oh my, that is actually very disturbing. But if you see in the most recent issue of Flash, spoiler for those of you who are reading it, Iris actually remembers something that Barry doesn't, which is that they were married in the old timeline. She actually remembers and she's like, yeah, that happened, and he was like, what? And she's like, nothing. Yeah, so everybody remembers different things about the timeline. Those who have been allowed to remember. So I think once Doomsday Clock is finished, if there will be a set timeline that we'll have.
I also feel like one of the other things too is that another big thing with that is the Titans. Like most of the Titans book, they still keep saying that they feel like they're missing someone.
Who are they missing?
Like, I mean, that was like a big thing. Like during Titans Hunt, they were like, "Hey, you know, we're still missing someone. Like, who are we missing?" And it turned out to be it was Wally, and Wally came back.
Yeah.
But even during this whole run of Titans, they're still like, we feel like something's wrong, something's not right, someone's still missing. And a lot of people thought that might have been Donna Troy, but I think it's still perpetuating now, and they've still haven't figured out that Cyborg was a Titan.
Yeah, I think we're going to. Because they got past that iteration of the Titans coming back, I think what we need is that classic Nightwing / Robin, that Dick Grayson, Cyborg, Beast Boy, Raven, Starfire, Wally, and Donna.
Yeah.
We need that classic lineup of them to come back and have that be a book for a while, and that's it seems like that's kind of what they're trying to do, but with the different characters and stuff, they kind of got closer to that with this new book, with the exception of Steel and Miss Martian being there.
Well, I was going to say that feels more Young Justice.
Yeah, I think that's what they're kind of doing.
If they went back to the original lineup, I can even accept Cyborg possibly being the leader and Nightwing stepping down of the Titans.
Yeah.
I would feel that kind of be like a
knowledge.
Superman-Batman relationship, whereas Superman's technically he's like the face of the Justice League. He's technically the leader, but the brains is Batman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole lot of that, and I mean, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens after Heroes in Crisis. We'll see who's.
When does that come out again?
September. Yeah.
In 21 days.
In 21. Actually, yeah. It says in the article 21 days.
Yeah, I just
says
saw
who's
that.
gonna die in 21 days is what the article said. But yeah, no, we'll see. I mean, we'll see how far Heroes in Crisis delves into that, into the continuity aspect of it.
It's also Tom King, so I have no faith it's going to be brilliant.
You have no faith it's going to be brilliant?
I'm sorry. I have the utmost faith it's going to be brilliant.
There you go.
There we go.
It's like, Tom King's pretty good.
Yeah, no, Tom King's pretty... I think what's going to... Again, I feel like a lot of the continuity stuff is going to get cleaned up until Jeff Johns is done with Doomsday Clock, which sucks because it's another like 6 months out, 7 months. It's not finishing until May.
For now, until,
Dear God. So, like, next September?
Yeah. 3 years from now.
3 years from now?
They're gonna pull a Marvel. They're gonna be like, hey, we're just gonna relaunch everything and tell them the end of it. Yeah. But whenever you finish it, that's fine.
Wasn't it Secret Wars the most recent Wars? That was like 5 issues. Then it was 7 issues. Then it was 8 issues.
Then it was 9.
Then it was 9.
Yeah. No, and then they did this. They did the same thing with Civil War 2.
Yeah, I remember that.
Civil War 2 got delayed, and they relaunched everything, and they're like, "Yeah, don't worry, you'll figure it out." Like when the books come out, like, how do you relaunch your books? Because I had a whole bunch of people who said the same thing. They're like, "I can't read Iron Man until I
finish you can.
Not Steve, when he dies in the book.
But
he dies.
Yeah. He goes into a coma. He doesn't die. He doesn't die.
Yeah. His hair. It's really creepy.
Yeah, he comes back as like a hairless baby man.
The next up, this is actually a couple bits of news all rolled into one. Big topics. Uncanny X-Men disassembled.
Oh boy, they're Avengers.
They're
Avengers disassembling the X-Men.
I am just more concerned about Psylocke being
Caucasian?
British woman again. Like, not in her ninja body. It's interesting. I want to know why we're doing it. I want to know what happened to her original body that we brought back. Because when we last saw it, stuff was going down where someone else was possessing it. I want to know... Number one, I want to know if it's Psylocke. And I want to know how she's back in her English body.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, yeah, we're gonna The lineup for Uncanny X-Men.
Well, here, hold on, stop. Let's address this, in the order of the way this news came out. So, first up, let's talk about the fact that there's going to be a 10-part weekly event called Uncanny X-Men Disassembled.
I'm so excited.
So it's going to be written by 3 writers: Ed Brisson, Kelly Thompson,
love her,
and Matthew Rosenberg. So those 3 writers, they've actually Matthew Rosenberg and Ed Brisson have been doing nothing but restructuring the X-Men books for the last couple months anyway. So we're going to be seeing a lot of big stuff coming out of that.
Kelly Thompson's just delightful.
Yeah.
Read everything she's done.
So the one of the big things they actually were interviewing Matthew Rosenberg recently about the X-Men Disassembled, and he basically said, listen, he's like, one of the big things, he goes, one thing you've always had to have for the X-Men books to be successful is writers writing it who love the X-Men. He goes, and that's what you have. He goes, you probably, as of right now, writer-wise, you can't find anyone who loves the X-Men more than myself, Ed, and Kelly.
And I mean, any of the books that anyone's been reading of his, because the man predominantly plays the best game at writing miniseries.
Yeah.
I mean...
Well, I mean, here's the thing. And again, and Matthew Rosenberg, he's taken over a couple of books recently. I mean, he took over Astonishing X-Men. He brought back Jean Grey.
Thank you. Can't thank you enough.
So, he's actually taken... no, Ed Brisson is writing Old Man Logan.
Kelly's doing
Rogan Gambit. Yeah. But yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out of this. It's going to be a lot of fun. But one of the other things he said too is that he said, I want people to actually feel like it means something to read an X-Men book again. He's like, he goes, what I want is that when a death happens, I want the readers to feel that it hurt us as much as it's hurting them to watch the character die. Like he wants them to feel that the writers know what they're doing and that there's actual weight to what they're doing.
What was the last X-Men death that actually meant something to you?
Phantom X.
Oh,
full circle.
Wow.
I'm just curious. I can come back to you if you want.
Jean during Morrison's run.
You actually felt something for that?
I actually like Jean. I just like messing with you, teasing you about it, because she's your favorite character.
She's my favorite character.
No, that's probably the last X-Men character death that actually had any gravitas.
I will not lie. I mean, Jean obviously goes without saying. However, Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler's death was super upsetting to me.
I'm excited for this, and I'm also a bit worried as to who might go. I don't think a lot of the main ones, because there are a lot of X-Men characters that a lot of people like. So there aren't many that you can just
write
off. Well, yeah,
and people being
there's enough
happy.
of them though. There's enough X-Men characters.
Well,
and that. Well, here, I mean, the one of the big things with this is that there's a lot of X-Men characters that we're already established that they've already said that one of the biggest things is that the younger X-Men are getting dealt with in Extermination, so they are not part of this relaunch. No. The relaunch happening in November is excluding the young versions of the X-Men.
So I think that kind of rules out the original 5 when they return as dying in the event.
And another thing that they've stated too is that at the beginning of Disassembled for X-Men, the leader of the original 5 is still dead. Cyclops is still going to be dead, starting with this.
So that means that Scott is not in Extermination.
We don't know that.
Okay.
We just know that
because I love Scott.
Do you really?
I do.
You are the first Scott fan
like
that has actually shown up.
Legitimately, even when he went evil, dude, I love Scott. I'm sorry.
Wow.
I thought he's super cool.
Will, can we switch spots?
I
can't.
But here's
what do you not like about Scott? Like, what specifically do you hate about Scott?
the fact that he takes really great female characters and just destroys them.
I do not like Scott's relationships.
Oh.
But I like Scott.
He's also a terrible father.
I actually think
Scott's
I
not that
liked
very
him.
responsible
That's a
of a
relationship.
person.
Yeah, I think I liked him more a little bit when he became Evil Scott, actually, because it gave him like he's always been like the Boy Scout like leader
Well, he
of the
became.
X-Men.
You know what? He became more than Magneto ever could have been.
Exactly.
Oh my god, when Magneto's afraid of you, you know you've done something wrong.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's the other
But
thing
he
too.
did it so well, though.
But you know what?
Did he though?
Like I kind of wanted to follow him into the abyss.
I want the Quentin Quire T-shirt. Magneto was right.
But you know what? Here's the thing. Though. And actually, one
Hashtag
of the best things. I mean, one of the things like and everyone was like real surprised when the big reveal in the Uncanny X-Men run when Bendis wrote it was that Magneto was the traitor to Scott. I'm like,
Really?
I'm like,
You were?
How are you all surprised by this? Magneto watched Scott Summers murder his best friend
Yeah.
and only person he considered family anymore in front of him. Like, Magneto's not going to let that slide. So, you know...
Well, it's just one of those things, like, for me, Scott has always been that character that I love to hate.
You know, again, Scott's one of those characters that... Up until if you're reading,
I think he got pushed to the edge, man. I
think agree.
Avengers vs. X-Men. I think pushed him to the edge. And
No, I think House of M pushed him to the end.
All right. Well,
As long as he comes back and doesn't look like a blue thumb, I'm all for it.
Oh, I love this
Because
blue
I
costume.
hate-
I love
all
his
of the
classic
outfits.
costume.
No,
I
I
like
like
the
the new one. I like
costumes.
the red X, man. I think
hate
it's
that.
so badass.
Oh, I hate the red X and I hate.
Oh, I hate the
I
red
hate
X.
the one
I
where
like
he
the
looks
red
like a blue
X.
because that's
I
also the
like
blue
it.
thumb. I like the costume where it shows
Where's his hairline?
Its hair. Like that, like the '90s X-Men costume.
You'll get it
like,
back.
That was
yeah, but
fun.
you know what? My as much as I love the '90s X-Men lineup and the '90s X-Men cartoon, his costume was way too busy.
Can we talk about one thing, though, when it comes to the 90s X-Men? What is the point of all the pockets?
That's what I was gonna say.
I need to know this.
It's too busy.
Have
He's got like a sling of pockets
Have
and
you
like
ever
a belt
seen,
of pockets.
Have we ever actually seen Scott go into those pockets
No.
for anything?
Never. not
Anyone
once.
listening who is an X-Men fan,
Why does he have a
please,
utility belt?
Please tell me an issue where he's actually gone into a pocket. I don't care what he's going in for. He could be taking out a piece of gum. I want to know why he has so many pockets.
Just in case.
Cable makes sense because Cable has to stick the ammo somewhere.
Okay, all right.
Cable makes sense.
But
Maybe they're all foldable like sunglasses.
Good
that
job.
He can whip out at a
Good
moment's
job.
notice. Oh, my visor's gone. Whip.
So I mean, we have a. You know what? That'd actually be pretty smart.
That would make a
Because
lot
you know
of
what?
sense.
In all those pockets, he never carried a spare visor.
You see how he was about to go off it, and then he was
Yeah.
like, "Wait a second, you're right."
No, he does.
He never has a spare
every
visor.
time he loses that supervisor,
Go on.
you would think he'd have a spare because they fold up.
He's like Velma.
They fold
He's
up.
always, he's always
glasses.
like,
My
Gene,
glasses.
go get them for me. And she's like,
Listen, all I'm
fine.
saying is hashtag I stand with Scott, guys, and I want him back.
Listen,
Let's bring him
Scott-
back. Bring back Scott.
Scott Summers.
We
bring him
were
back.
friends.
I
Right.
want them.
I'm okay with
Honestly,
that.
I share in
Okay.
the fact that I want them to bring him back, and I want to see what they'll do to make him good again.
I want to hate him again. More so
Me
than I
too, though. But that's why I like him.
No, I don't
Oh
like
man,
Scott.
I love to hate
Because
the
you know what?
guy.
Jean is at such a vulnerable place still. She will
You know
crawl
what?
right back into bed with
Screw
him.
your Jean Grey, all right? Bring back Scott.
Jean killed him.
I'm
again.
starting a movement.
She did.
She straight up
was
Scarlet
beautiful.
Witched him.
well,
and
we don't.
it was-
it wasn't really him. I'm not count. I didn't count it as him. Because at that point, the Phoenix was grasping at every straw.
Also, at this point, I mean, that's kind of like the tipping point where you see, like, Scott's death is kind of the tipping point where you kind of see that Emma Frost was never really, like, a super awesome person.
No. Emma is a woman who is mourning her boyfriend, her partner. That is what that comes down to. She made some awful, crappy choices.
Yes.
However, she's more than made up for those awful, crappy choices.
I don't think that her grieving phase, I don't think that validates what she did.
Single-handedly saved all mutants during Secret Empire.
Excuse me.
And Beast words it the best because he's like, they will never understand the queen that you really are. Emma
when
does
you almost
that.
got all of them killed by
She's-
faking Cyclops'
No, but
living
during
and
se-
starting
during
a war with the Inhumans.
During Secret
and she tried
Empire,
to
though,
kill
she
all the
saves them.
Inhumans to save that. Well, like, I get it.
Yeah, she
What?
wanted him to go. She
But
wanted him to
also-
die with dignity. I can understand why she
Yeah,
did
but
that.
she made it worse. Like, he didn't die with dignity. He
She
looked like a
started the
butt
war,
face.
man. She started the Inhumans.
Even
were second.
His
Cyclops
legacy
dying
is
in her
more
arms was like,
tampered.
he's like, hey Emma, listen, we have to like be better. We have to save everybody. And she's
All right,
like,
I'm gonna make
she's
you
like,
even more of a
we're
villain
gonna
than
go
you've
to
already
war.
become.
She's like, we're going to war.
They
And
really
he's like, wait, no.
You're gonna love this. Just wait. No, die, sweetheart. It's okay. I got
No,
this.
they really should have done it where he whispers something into her ear and they never know what it is. And he says to her, "I've always loved Jean more," and that's why she goes on a killing rampage.
That'd be great.
That would've
I
made
would have
sense.
lost my mind.
But so
no.
yeah, no, but here, but
Yeah, if he went, Gene, is that you? Well, all right. Yeah,
Yes!
you're going down.
Yes!
Yeah, I'm tampering your legacy so hard.
but yeah, so look, I mean the Uncanny X-Men, with the big relaunch and everything, with the 3 writers writing it,
Who is the lineup?
the lineup,
Everybody.
Well, yes,
No, right,
and no.
right now for the
Lineup?
core, the
Do
core
we have
time for
lineup.
that?
Oh, for Uncanny
yeah.
X-Men?
Yeah,
Are we
there's a
talking about?
legitimate reason why I'm asking. Go for it.
Well,
Wait,
so
question before we do lineup: are we keeping red, black, and gold?
no,
Red is
Gold-
staying,
Gold's leaving, and so is Blue.
and
Golden-
black is a mini.
Oh, black was a mini. Cool.
Black is a mini.
So
Yes.
red and uncanny is what we're going. And astonishing is staying.
yes,
They're just gonna rename red something else. I
probably.
think.
Probably. If they're not
They
keeping the
might.
color
I honestly,
theme.
they should just drop the red and just call
X-Men.
it X-Men. I mean, at that point, it's going to be the only X-Men title. I mean, aside from Astonishing.
Well, they're not gonna let Tom Taylor off of an X-Men book unless he wants to be off. Of
Yeah,
it.
but I mean, so anyway, I mean, look, so the
Lineup.
lineup, the core lineup for Uncanny X-Men when it starts, and I mean, this is the lineup of the main team starting for Avengers
When you're
X-Men Disassembled.
when you read them, can we say if we think they're gonna survive or not? Just go around the room quickly as you're reading.
Why don't I just read them off and then we'll go around the room and say what we're doing, like we did with the Heroes in Crisis
Yeah.
thing. So okay, the lineup right now, as it stands, is Bishop, Jean Grey,
Okay.
Nightcrawler,
All right.
X20
I want to get to him.
X-23, Beast, Cannonball, Storm, Jubilee, Psylocke, and Iceman.
They've already kind of they took away her powers in House of M, so I don't think they'd screw her over. Jubilee. I don't think
She
they'd
got it
screw
back,
her
though.
over again.
Yeah, she got him back in Generation X.
Yeah.
Yes, but but what I'm saying is they wouldn't do that. They might not do it again. I don't know. I want to say X-23, but at the same time, they're doing so much with her in Adamantium
Yeah, no.
Agenda. Like, they just revealed another part of her origin.
Tom Taylor will never let that woman die.
No.
Nice.
But here's the thing.
Also, I want to point out really quick that Nightcrawler's facial hair in that cover is back.
I saw that too.
I was
why
like,
does Nightcrawler look so
that's
black?
so
What?
weird.
I need to
You didn't
see
His
that.
facial hair is
No, I
black.
thought
it
I
makes me
did.
angry.
He looks.
Is it just
crazy.
no? I think it's just shading.
I
think
thought
it's
it was
the
just shading.
underneath
I'm
his
looking
beard.
it up now.
I don't think so.
I
No,
think
because
it
his
is.
mustache, everything was black.
I don't think it.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he has a full beard.
Hold on, I'm looking.
Can I also point out that this is the first X-Men lineup in the last 2 years that we haven't had all the characters blacked out and had to guess who they are for 3 days?
Oh my God, you're right.
They literally just revealed the lineup.
I'm
no,
sad that.
it is black.
Is it really?
That is a
Definitely
hard
full
black.
beard.
Yep.
Full
Really?
black beard.
But
Let
at
me-
the same time,
Take a look.
I'm really sad that Wolverine's not there.
I am too.
I'm like, what? Because I expected Uncanny to be more
Wolverine or
like
Scott.
A-listers, like more of them instead
A-listers?
of like you know what I mean?
A-listers. Well, you know what? In your defense, there are not as many A-listers
Because
as I
I'm
thought.
not as familiar with Psylocke, and Bishop is meh.
Psylocke is one of those characters where, depending on who is writing her, she is a hard character of if she's good or not.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
look at,
but
look,
that's the thing is that
And Bishop-
Psylocke's
oh, wait,
at X-23, like Wolverine's coming back. Like, what is?
yeah,
okay.
but Wolverine
Well,
also
clearly
but he
he's
also,
not coming back to X-Men.
No, I mean
That's
and
unfortunate.
Wolverine
It is.
could just not want to deal with it. He might not. Well, he might have the same old man.
That's true. He's been back for a while.
And not
Yeah.
for nothing, Jean may not want him
I
back.
like that they're bringing Cannonball in.
Yeah, I
Oh,
like
yeah, he's gonna
Cannonball.
die.
No.
Out
Oh,
of the
yeah, I'd
roster of
expect that.
people on this
They will
team,
not
Whoa,
kill Cannonball.
I do not really
Okay.
care about Cannonball.
There we
They
go.
can kill him. Oh yeah, you can Jack of Hearts him so hard.
No, but and first off, Bishop is still an A-list character. for the X-Men reality.
He is. I just don't
Okay,
like him.
Bishop.
Yeah.
I mean, here's my thing though.
In terms of popularity, you could say he's B.
And they still haven't really addressed one of the biggest problems with Bishop, which is I hope they address that in this, is that since Messiah Complex, he's become a murdering psychopath. Like
So
he
they'll
went
probably kill him.
Well, he looks like he's going to be the leader of the team.
Ugh.
So he'll probably lead the team until he dies.
I just want to know. Just give Storm a team again. Let her have it.
That's probably why Psylocke is English in there. They kill her.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. I think she
They
might be a
his
victim
body.
of
They
extinction.
tried that in Gold, didn't they? Kitty was like, Storm, lead the team. Storm was like, nah.
No, that was Gold spun out of Extraordinary, and Storm felt that because of all the nonsense that was happening within humans, that this all happened under her watch, that she was not fit to lead the X-Men.
I think Kitty might go. Kitty's not there, is
Yeah,
she?
we haven't. BT Dubs. None of these have really shown Kitty.
Yeah, I think Kitty might go.
But she's in the big picture.
Is she? I'm looking that up right
Yeah,
now.
but I think she might go.
But I mean, right now, I mean, as far as like star X-Men, like currently, especially like with returns and everything, who aren't pictured in the disassembled picture, are the Young Five and Wolverine. They're the only ones I can see that aren't on the big picture.
Scott.
It's so interesting
Scott, yeah.
because
Scott.
even in the disassembled photo, it's English Shylock. I am so excited for this. Like, I really love her costume. I love the lightness to her because Psylocke's become one of those very dark characters, and depending on who is working against her,
Dark and foreboding.
I really loved what Bunn did with her and Magneto for his Uncanny X-Force.
Yeah.
Where she was kind of like the one that I'm getting there.
Let me see it.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think right now the lineup it's a pretty solid lineup.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone necessarily on the lineup is going to die. I think there's going to be a lot of other characters.
Maybe not, because it sounds like they'll be like everybody died and that's who's left, and they're like, oh, we got to find out why.
Let's be
real.
real.
Look at who. I mean, honestly, even look at Avengers: No Surrender, the big 16-part event. Who really died out of the original lineup?
Can
of
we
that
talk
movie?
about that?
Nobody died in that book.
No, didn't. Can we talk about that or no?
What?
I thought Quicksilver bit it.
No, he's alive.
No, he's in a different. There's a whole book that's coming out right now of
it's a
Scarlet
miniseries
Witch
of how he's
and
coming
a couple
back
of
out of.
Oh, I really thought he bit it.
No, nobody died in that event.
Wow, that's pointless.
It's really disappointing.
I think a couple of people got.
Yeah.
I mean,
got
Hulk
messed
came
up.
back.
Yeah.
In that event.
Well, there you go. I mean, that's
a lot of people came back because it was an event to set up the current Avengers team. Like it was that. It was them all getting defeated and being like, "Wow, we are not the Avengers.
I'm just really.
I like the
it.
new Avengers
We should
team.
leave.
I like that Ghost
Oh,
Rider's
I
kind of
love
like the new kid
the
on the
new
block, and
Avengers.
he's just like, I shouldn't be here, and they're like, yes, you should.
I'm just.
I love the
super
lineup. I
excited
think
for
the
this
lineup
book.
is perfect. I think we talked about it last time. I think if there was one thing I would change, I would just plop Vision in there. I love Vision so much.
Well, Vision's a great character.
He is a great character.
But we're getting your own Vision book though again.
Ooh.
Yeah. But you know, but again, like, so the other thing too. I mean, with the lineup of the X-Men books, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. I mean, X-Men Black is establishing who the villains are again in the X-Men universe.
Because we need that.
So you know, every one shot is reestablishing each character as a villain for the X-Men. So you know,
I
Emma
am
Frost
glad we are resetting the X-Men.
Everyone
glad.
needs to come in and buy the Mystique one though. That way they can be like, oh, the Mystique book sold so well. Let's give her her own series. Everyone buy the Mystique book. Thank you.
This is bad.
That's what I have. That's the
you
wrong.
want to read Mystique? Read Weapon X.
I'm going to.
Don't taint the bookshelves with a Mystique title.
Really? Because we need an Iceman book. And this
I
is
never
coming
said.
from
I never.
the gay kid.
Okay, I never said we needed an Iceman book. I never said that.
Okay.
All right.
I didn't think we needed a Jean Grey book.
You can get the hell out of the store.
I don't think
I'm learning a lot about you tonight, and I'm almost wishing you were not here.
I don't think any of them really need their own books. Just
I'm
keep
Team
them. You have
Scott.
so many X-Men.
I
So
know,
many
I agree.
X-Men books. Why do you now
Can you
need to
get
give
this
them all
out of my
solo
back?
books?
You know, the knife that
The
you
knife
keep
that I
plunging
stabbed in.
deeper and deeper.
No, but really, like, I mean, let's look at the X-Men titles right now as they stand. I mean, right now, starting in November, we're gonna have Uncanny X-Men, X-Men Red, Astonishing X-Men, and
Mr. and Mrs. X.
Weapon, yeah, but Mr. and Mrs. X is like a side title.
I count that
They're
more.
not
I would
going.
count. No, I would count that more than
twist.
Weapon X.
Weapon X is an actual team book.
Can we not count Weapon H? Because that book is good.
No, I don't count Weapon H. And actually, that's not a bad book.
Actually, it's a pretty good book.
Really?
It's a lot of fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
It needs to be
I'd
a
stop
mini, and
reading
then
it.
put him on a team, and then establish him enough, and
Yeah.
then go about giving him his own solo.
But so my thing is that you have Uncanny X-Men. X-Men Red can easily just be turned into X-Men. Astonishing X-Men has been a long-running title for a while, so let's just keep Astonishing.
Could we? It's the oldest at this point X-Men book.
And Weapon X can just be turned into X-Force. Yeah. And there you go. You've got the 4 books from the 90s that ran the X-Men world.
Do you know what I want the next X-Men mini to be? And I won't get it. X Factor. I love that 90s X Factor team.
Yeah. Hey, I mean that
was a great
the 90s X Factor team, that was the government sponsored team,
Yeah.
right? That was the one that Forge made with
It was the one Forge made, and then he starts bringing in all these villains. You get Wild Child, Mystique.
Well, that was and then when Madrix and Strongman and all the rest of them left, they made the X. They made the X Factor Detective Agency, which listen, don't get me wrong, I like Peter David. I never got into the X Factor book when the X Factor Detective Agency stuff. I always thought it was kind of boring.
Okay.
It lasted a long time. A lot of people enjoyed it, but I never liked those characters.
Oh, and Banshee's back too.
Yeah, Banshee's back.
Yeah. Hank actually brings it up how he's bringing him back. He woke him from the coma, and he's still kind of like zombie-like.
Yeah.
Banshee, now it is?
In Astonishing.
I'm excited to see Banshee back.
Yeah.
And see what he does.
We haven't seen
hopefully
Banshee.
he doesn't wake up just to die.
Oh.
Well, I mean, let's hopefully if they do make him bite it, he'll bite it better than how he did originally by getting hit by a plane.
That was was that when they brought in his brother?
Yeah, not
Scott's brother.
Scott's third brother,
Yeah,
the third Summers brother.
Who wrote that garbage?
That was
Third Summer.
What are you talking about? The original Deadly Genesis arc was
I like
great.
the Deadly Genesis.
Yeah, and that was written by Brubaker.
That was Baker.
I
only bought that book because it was like
Not just the Baker, the Brubaker.
Gene was haunting Rachel.
Oh, okay.
That was the only when he attacks all the psychics.
So I mean, that's the thing. For a guy who can fly and scream things out of existence,
did not miss that that plane.
He just straight up just flew there while a plane just crashed into him. It was
I'm dead. Well, it's more of an I'm dead. That was kind of my.
That wasn't hard enough.
And it was like
you can't do it because there's no R there.
Well,
dead. Dead's the only word you can.
I'm also giving you a little bit of a pass tonight because of your surgery.
Anyway,
next week though.
So another big part of this, a lot of the X-Men stuff that's going on. Over the weekend, it turns out that John Byrne has been talking to C.B. Cebulski, the current editor-in-chief at Marvel.
Which is something that you brought up 2 episodes ago?
Yeah, a couple episodes ago, because he was writing X-Men Elsewhen. Well, it turns out that C.B. Cebulski is talking to John Byrne in regards to his X-Men Elsewhen title that he's been writing and drawing for his blog, which I find really interesting considering that they're resetting the X-Men, sending the younger characters back to where they belong. So it's real interesting that we're gonna maybe talk to John Byrne about putting a story in out there that deals with the history of Dark Phoenix Saga being rewritten. And then he hasn't worked for
20 years.
Do we know why he talked to Byrne? Like what he talked to him about?
He talked to him specifically about the X-Men Elsewhen book.
Was he like, yeah, or was he like, stop it?
No,
he was like, so come on. We're going to publish this probably.
He basically said, hey,
what if? A Marvel what if?
Well,
really good.
Well, no, he basically said to him, he goes, hey, hey, John, I'd really like to talk to you about coming and doing some work for Marvel again. And he hasn't done work for Marvel in 18 years because
hidden years.
When Joe Quesada took over as editor-in-chief back in 2000, he was trimming all of the X titles because he said that there were too many. And one of the X titles that he decided to cancel was John Byrne's X-Men: The Hidden Years, which is basically like, it was like stories that happened between the
different arcs.
No, it was what happened between when X-Men originally got canceled and before it got relaunched with Giant Size.
Oh.
So it was all the stories in there of what the X-Men were doing, and it was actually one of the few successful X-Men titles at the time.
It was brilliant.
And what happened was
pretty too.
Joe Quesada thought that it was an extraneous title and that they needed to really trim it down to get back to a core readership, and he canceled the book even though it was selling. And when John Byrne said that, well, I'm not going to work for a company that's going to cancel books that are actually making them money. And he hasn't worked at Marvel in 18 years because of it.
Wow.
So, and apparently, from what I understand, Sobolski is like the first editor-in-chief to really go out of his way to go talk to John Byrne and actually invite him to come back since the incident. So
we shall see.
We'll see what happens.
And John Byrne's work is just amazing.
And hey, you know what? I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see because, you know, John Byrne coming back tied in with Extermination and now X-Men Disassembled, and I mean, there are a couple mutants out there with some reality-bending powers, you know, hashtag Wanda Forever.
Hashtag no more mutants.
Hashtag bring back Scott.
Hashtag get the hell out.
So, yeah,
hashtag let's keep it going.
Let's keep the X-Men love going, guys. Let's go.
Except Scott.
All right, what have we got?
So I mean, that's really that's a lot of big stuff happening for the X-Men. I mean,
yay!
Are you excited for any of it, Will? I mean,
yeah, I'm excited to see what comes out of Extinction, and I'm excited to see what comes out of Disassembled. I'm surprised that they just called it Disassembled because I thought when the Avengers, Disassembled event happened, that was supposed to be like, haha, it's disassembled because they're all dying. And they have to make a new team. They have to assemble again after they are disassembled. But now they just no, it's just X-Men disassembled.
It's just it's just uncanny. The first arc is just it's just Uncanny X-Men. The first arc of the book is 10 issues long and it's weekly.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean that's the thing.
I'm excited because I've loved the X-Men for a long time, but there's never been a book that I am genuinely interested because a lot of the books will have, specific lineups or storylines, that I'm not hugely interested in because I grew up with, I've watched all of the X-Men animated. I've watched, the 90s, Evolution, Wolverine and the X-Men. I think there's a fourth one.
There was an anime one.
I watched the anime one
too.
How
was that?
It was so good. It should not have been canceled.
I never saw it.
They only got a season, but it was really, really good.
I really
that was also
so good.
Yeah, but that was also because the channel that they were on also got
check it out on Crackle. It's a free app.
Right, it was G4. G4 was the
G4 was because they did that, Blade and Wolverine
and Iron Man.
And Iron Man. And that was the thing.
It's all on Crackle now.
Yeah,
it's free.
Watch it.
Check it out.
So,
yes.
So a lot of big X-Men. So hopefully we'll see some really cool stuff coming out of that. So next up we've got some more a little couple of movie news, movie and TV show news.
Alrighty.
Apparently there's been some rumors and reports that the Obi-Wan movie is no longer happening. At least...
Oh, no.
Ewan McGregor, no.
At least...
What will he ever do?
From what Ewan McGregor has said, there are no plans... He's been quoted as saying there are no plans with him for an Obi-Wan movie.
I'm okay. I'm... Obi-Wan's my favorite character. And the fact that they were making
I didn't know that about you.
Yes, it was my favorite Star Wars character. Even growing up, I was like, yeah!
Oh, the old guy made it.
But yeah, I was really sad. But that whole the fact that they were making solo movies, I was like, don't do that with Star Wars. Just make the Star Wars movies. Don't franchise it that hard. Do not DC and Marvel Star Wars. I don't want to see it. Yeah, it's too late. And Solo was good, but it was not necessary. It really wasn't. Let's be honest. And neither is an Obi-Wan movie. I love Obi-Wan.
Did you feel Rogue One was necessary?
Not at all. And the more I watched Rogue One, honestly, the more I didn't like it. The main character just kept getting more and more annoying to like watch and hear her voice. It was
I
just
actually really regret not seeing that in theaters.
it
See,
was
honestly,
it's like to watch it. It's fine. Like it's cool to see that how that happened, but it's not like it's not a necessary movie.
Honestly, for me personally, Will, my favorite Star Wars movies out of all the new stuff is Rogue One and Solo. Like I've just got
Solo's definitely one of the better movies they've put out of out of all of the new stuff. But what I've wanted from this new influx of Star Wars movies is new stuff. In terms of the fact that we are continuing the story of what happens afterwards, because Star Wars now and since the early 2000s has been prequels. You got to know how we got here, how we got to this point. And all I want to know is where we go from this point. I want to know the future.
It's so funny that you say that, because that's exactly how I feel about Star Trek.
Well, yeah, that's
that
also
literally
that's
exactly
why I'm really happy that they're doing a Jean-Luc Picard show,
for you
because
to say
that's going to be the future of Star Trek. We're going to find out what happened after Voyager.
For you to say that, thank you.
So
yeah, but I want to see the future, even though they've screwed it up like really badly. I want to see I want to keep going to 9. I'm like after 9, that was the end of Lucas's plan, so they could have stopped there. But now that they're continuing, just keep going into the future.
Or wait, Nate.
But anyway, so Brandon, I mean, what are your thoughts on the Star Wars franchise and what
I
they've
really
been
don't have anything to say about Star Wars franchise.
Anyway, but seriously,
yeah,
I mean,
but
Brandon,
Paul about Star Trek. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I heard you.
We went on that huge rant, and Paul was like, "I honestly do not care about Star Trek."
I mean, I've seen.
No, I thought it was Fantastic Four.
No, it was Star Trek.
It was both.
It was both. Yeah.
Paul didn't care a lot about last week.
Okay, but anyway, no, seriously.
Paul.
So,
I mean, I didn't see Solo, and I didn't see Rogue One.
I'd recommend Solo.
I saw The Force Awakens and I saw The Last Jedi, and I wasn't super impressed with either of them.
It's on Netflix. It's free.
Thank you. Well, it's not unless I have Netflix, which
You
I
have
do,
Netflix?
but
Then
yeah.
quit your whining.
really, so seriously,
I'm binge watching Fear the Walking Dead right now. Give me a
Who
break.
cares?
What were you saying?
I was saying that.
I don't know what that was.
I was saying that. No, but really, if you do get a chance, check out Rogue One. Rogue One is a lot of fun.
It really was.
Yeah, I mean, again, you
know what's gonna happen.
if you're not overly impressed with the current numbered Star Wars movies, most people have actually really enjoyed Rogue One and Solo.
You get to see where Darth Vader lives.
What?
Yeah.
Is he in his underwear or a bathrobe?
I wish. That would have been hilarious.
I should have wrote that film.
That would have been more hilarious than when Darth
next
Vader...
time. Please write a letter to Hollywood.
Yeah.
No.
Darth Vader...
No.
Oh my god, there's
Darth
that really...
Vader, bathrobe. Let's get it done.
Be careful not to choke on your aspirations.
No,
God.
but seriously, I mean, as far as there not being an Obi-Wan movie, I mean, what do you think? You think they're really gonna start like axing the rest of the?
It had an interesting plot, but it's one of those like, okay, I am not a huge good prequels. Yeah, they're fun, but at the same time, you know how it's going to end because there's already an ending. It's the thing you started with. So like the leaked plot, because someone's audition tape for the villain role leaked, was that it's going to be Thrawn. It's going to be Obi-Wan trying to prevent Thrawn from finding more Jedi. And while that's a really intriguing plot, we already know what happens to both Thrawn and Obi-Wan. So there's no risk in the movie.
I don't know what happens to Thrawn.
If you watch Rebels, you know what happens to Thrawn.
I don't know.
Do you care?
Maybe I need to watch a movie.
What? He doesn't show up in any of the movies.
Well,
he only showed up in
Maybe
Rebels.
I need to watch the movie.
And he was, from what I hear, it's a very unfaithful adaptation because Thrawn is not... Because Thrawn's supposed to be like a really good villain, and in the show, he shows up every week, gets defeated, and is like, it's all part of my plan.
To get my butt kicked.
Yeah, every episode, and it's like, all right, I get it. I get it that they're trying to make it like, oh no, trust me, he's badass. He's just, it's part of his plan to get defeated every week in every episode. Trust me, when we get to the end, you'll see it.
As a villain, that's what
And then the ending was really weird. And really, like, what are they going to do now? We'll never know, because now they're going to do Clone Wars again. Which was a really good show, but at the same time, like, characters that show up in these prequels, they don't show up later, and there's a reason. They typically die, or they just go off and do something else.
Isn't that what Ahsoka did?
Yes.
Did she go
Yes,
off
because
and
she
was
shows up to
Anakin?
Rebels.
Yeah.
She shows up in Rebels.
She doesn't die in Rebels, though.
She does not.
No.
No, because she's part of the continuation of whatever they will do with the ambiguous ending they left Rebels on.
Come on.
Yeah, but
Disney's going to put it on a streaming service, just like everything else.
No, they're not going to They might write a book, but I doubt they're going to keep Rebels going.
I thought they said Rebels was going to be on their streaming service.
Maybe.
Someone validate that.
yeah,
I'm just glad Clone Wars is
everything's
coming
going to be
back.
on their streaming service. There doesn't matter making new episodes. They have there's the new casting for Spock for the
Hooray! Like Spock's coming into the show. Yeah.
Get it.
I'm doing a Spock thing.
Hoorah, Spock.
I love Star Trek, man. This kind of news doesn't really affect me because I don't watch Discovery because I don't have CBS all access. Like I'll probably either get a DVD or pirate it. Let's be honest, but I'm not gonna do CBS all access. As much as I love Star Wars or Star Trek, I don't love it worth like $5.90, $6.99, whatever they're charging for it.
I don't know what they're charging.
$7.99.
I thought it was like 10.
I don't know.
I don't think it's that
because
expensive.
they have commercials too.
Do they really?
I thought
If they have
would.
commercials, it should be less because they get money from the commercials. Commercial streaming service that have commercials usually are free because they get the money from the commercials.
No, because isn't Hulu?
No, that when a streaming service broadcasts commercials, like the companies pay the streaming service to get their commercial broadcasted.
Yeah, but
that's where the money comes from.
Yeah, but Hulu, there's different stages of Hulu.
Yeah.
You have
but the
free...
reason it's more expensive for commercial free is because you're not watching the commercial.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing, like that's where they make up the money because for regular Hulu, if you're just using it as a streaming service, you get like 5 commercials like every 10 minutes or something in an episode, and those are all minute long commercials.
30,
Either way.
So, but then
but Spock's
Honestly,
coming
Hulu,
back.
Annoyed me into getting commercial free.
I have to still get Hulu at some point.
Yeah, I mean,
they just put Power on Hulu.
I've never seen this guy. It says he's been in that '70s show. I don't recognize him. Does anybody recognize him?
I don't recognize him either.
yeah, Ethan,
the guy who plays Spock.
Yeah, it's Ethan
credited
Peck.
as-
He's the grandson of Gregory Peck.
We shall see him in the show. I'm interested to see what they do with the character in that show. Discovery also, I've heard good things, but it doesn't look that super interesting. I'd rather watch another season of The Orville. I love The Orville. And it's, I want to see what... What?
No,
they're getting a new season.
Oh, that's
All
depressing.
right. So here, last bit of news, guys. The last big thing to come up. There's going to be some cool things coming up in Fantastic Four that got announced this week. So, I mean, real quick, everyone check out Fantastic Four #1.
Yes, we did.
We were here. This entire room was here at midnight.
So what do we? I mean, how do we feel about it? How are we liking the?
I liked
the direction?
it. I also liked at the end that they put the little blurb about how fans are going to be mad that the Fantastic Four weren't together in issue #1.
Yeah.
They were like, calm down, they'll be together in issue #2.
Yeah.
You can wait a month, you've waited
It's okay,
years.
guys.
So, I mean, what'd you get? Will, Steve, what'd you think?
It was a very intense story. It was really weird. It took me off guard. I didn't know the emotional journey it was going to take me, but when...
I agree with that
The
statement.
emotional journey.
For the issue, when Ben asks Johnny, "Be my man," and Johnny's like, "No," I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Oh my God,
I
there's
mean,
this other Tyra
come
Banks
on,
moment.
No, but that's
what
it's true. It wasn't emotional, and then at the end, Johnny finally gives up.
Yeah.
he's
So-
like, "Yeah, they're gone."
He's like,
And
And then as he gives up, they're like, "No, we're still alive," and he's like,
Well, yeah,
"God."
because he finally, because that's the thing. I mean, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't gotten a chance
cracks
to
me
read
up
it.
that Ben is the one that was like, nope, they're back. Look, they're right
Yeah,
there.
but this thing, that was the cool thing was like Johnny literally, he has his moment where he he's not going to deal with not talking about it. He's not going to deal with accepting it. He finally just loses it, and he just yells out to the universe, and he goes, listen, Reed. He's like, I'm tired of waiting to find out where you guys are. You have to prove to me that you're out there. He goes, because if you don't show me right now that you're there, I have no choice. I have no choice but to give up on everything that I've ever believed in.
Well, yeah, they look like when you see them for that brief moment, they look like they've been through some stuff. Both of their clothes are torn.
Oh, yeah.
Reed's got a beard.
Well,
I mean,
again,
obviously he doesn't have shaving equipment.
I love Reed.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing, though. We've established that there's a new villain.
He had a beard when he went there, I think.
Yeah.
Well, the beard in not Secret Wars. Secret Wars, yeah.
Secret Wars,
yeah. He had the beard.
But again, like the thing is, like one of the big things we have to remember is that they've already said that there's a big villain that they're introducing that is the reason why they've been away.
Could it be Doom?
No, it's not Doom.
No.
I know,
but Doom was there.
They brought Doom back though. Doom's I'm tired of playing hero. I'm back, baby. That was the word for word verbatim exactly how that issue went, just so everyone knows.
But no, so there's some big stuff. They said that when the Fantastic Four, when they return, when they're able finally to get back to the Baxter Building, in Fantastic Four #4, they're going to be confronted with the Fantastics. They're a new superhero group that are living in the Baxter Building. Who they look pretty evil. Like, have you seen the promo pics? Like,
they don't look friendly.
They don't look friendly. They basically look like some cloned evil versions of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I have no doubt these people are going to be super evil, and they're probably going to be the first arc of this.
Second arc.
Second?
Yeah, because the first 3 issues is the return, and then #4 starts with them.
Okay, so yes, technically the second arc of the entire.
And but the other big thing that was announced this week, and I mean, again, this is a big spoiler. I mean, for all you big Fantastic Four fans out there, as Will said before, Ben is asking Johnny to be his best man because Ben asks someone to marry him, and for all you Fantastic Four fans out there, I'm sure you know who Ben asked to marry him.
It's
Alicia.
me. Yes, me.
Oh my god.
Was it you? Was it you
me.
in disguise?
Yes, me. I said no, so he asked Alicia.
So he asked Alicia.
Exactly how.
You said no, so he asked Alicia.
Deleted panel.
Yeah.
That's sad.
I know.
You broke that.
I know. I broke him.
That big rock's heart.
So here you go. So this is. And I really 100% feel that after an entire summer of the rug being pulled out from under fans
for weddings,
they have said
weddings.
that Fantastic Four #5 is also going to be the first double numbered Fantastic Four issue because it's also going to be issue 650, and it's going to be double sized because it is going to be Ben Grimm's wedding issue.
Woo!
So
I'm sorry,
good
is
for
he
Ben.
actually going to get married or?
I don't know.
She's gonna lose her way down.
You know what? The only thing. Here's the thing. You know what? Here's my thing. This is the only thing I can hope because with Reed being who Reed is, this is the one thing I hope he does.
Oh, he's gonna fix her blindness.
If anything, just for the wedding.
And then she's gonna run away.
Then she screams and
like the Rogue thing where she wore the necklace.
The necklace.
Yeah.
The power inhibitor.
I want to see that. I want to see Ben be happy because that was the thing that started to I was like, oh, is Ben just going to be depressed?
Well,
this
don't forget
whole
the
book?
other thing
and
too.
then he asked her to marry her, and I was like, yeah.
But here's the other thing too. There's also a lot of stuff that's happened in Fantastic Four before, where we know in the future, because they've encountered the future versions of themselves, that Reed does figure out a device so Ben can transform back and forth. But he hasn't created it yet, so he doesn't. He's
been too busy.
Well, he hasn't been on Earth
creating cosmoses.
They're gonna do the same thing they did with Beast and Days of Future Past.
Because that was a big thing back in the original Secret Wars.
I was not a fan of that.
Not a fan.
But in the original Secret Wars, Ben stays on the battle planet because he can change back and forth at will. And he doesn't. He comes back later on, but that was when She-Hulk became part of the team for a while. But and then also Reed's.
I thought She-Hulk replaced Johnny.
I thought She-Hulk replaced Sue.
No, Sue actually.
I wasn't around for that. I
Sue wasn't. She was She was the only member of the team that didn't get transported to the battle world. So,
she was a woman. I don't know. I don't like Sue. I think Sue's a whiny character. I'm sorry.
I really like that moment in the
I think Jean
flashback.
Grey's a whiny character.
I think you're.
I really
Oh,
like
yeah,
that
it's
moment.
flawed.
That moment in
Yeah.
the book where they're like, "Get your best singer," and she goes, "It's me," and everyone
I love
following
that.
it is
Everyone's like,
goes, "It's
Johnny."
Johnny."
And then she goes to her kid. She's like, "But I can sing, right?" And she's
No.
like,
Mommy, don't
please
sing."
Mommy, please don't sing.
It was
It's
cute.
so cute.
But yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. We're gonna see a lot of. It looks like there's gonna be a lot of really cool
It means
stuff.
the next time that they cast a new Fantastic Four movie, Johnny has to be able to sing.
All right, everybody. So yeah, so that's all the news we got. Those are our speculations and our hopes and our dreams. If you
Here
support
lies Squidward's hopes and dreams.
support our hopes and dreams. Big shout out to our guest speaker tonight, Brandon Argento. Don't
It's my birthday
forget.
on Friday. Thanks everyone for wishing me a happy birthday. I appreciate that.
Don't forget,
Happy
he's
birthday.
This is the last weekend to see his show at the Rhinebeck Performing Arts Center, 42nd Street, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Steve and I are going Sunday at 3 p.m. Don't forget that. Be there.
Are we?
Yes.
Be there
better
or
be there,
be
Steve.
square.
I gave him money
I've never
for a
understood-
ticket.
I've never
It is
understood-
not my fault.
I've-
if he
You
doesn't
told me
go.
Devon's gonna throw some nice underwear at me, so I'm excited about it.
I've never understood the be square thing.
Because square is like an old insult for to be like a dork.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So, any case, so again,
Hip to be square, dun, 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 like that. Like
all
hip
right.
to be square means hip to be lame.
yeah, okay. All right, so hey, again, thanks everybody for listening to the October Country Podcast. This is Devon.
Will?
Sophia Petrello.
And Brandon True Argento.
All right, and this has been October Country Comics Podcast. Everyone, you have a good night.
Woo!
And we'll see you next week.
Deuces.